regret when the distance. Now we're dropping these locks, just the boys in the will to cash big. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your bankroll for glory. Don't lose your grip on the almanac pass. You must bet just to keep it alive. So the pick is in it, it's the thrill of the line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor starts his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. Face to face, out on the air, hanging tough, staying sharp. They stack the odds, still we take to the square for the win with the skill to survive. The pick is in, it's the thrill of the line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor stalks his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. The pick is in. Rising up, straight to the top, had the guts, got the units, when the distance. Now we're not gonna stop, just the boys and the will to survive. It's pick is in, pick is in, pick is in, pick is in. The pick is in, it's the thrill of the line. Rising up to the challenge of our rival, and the fix might be in, but we're calling it right. Hayward's almanac, Jonah, Snoopy, the fight is the fix in. Is it all predetermined? Back to the future, future's looking certain. Tune in weekly for the picks and the laughs. Sports betting expert dropping knowledge on the path. The pick is in. The pick is in. The pick is in. Pick is in, pick is in, pick is in.
What's up, Haywood?
Hey,
What's going on, my dude?
welcome to the Pick Is In podcast. What up, bro?
How you doing, sir? How you doing?
A little better today. A little better today.
Good.
A little better.
Good. We got lots of things to get into today. Maybe not that many things. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's only a few things to get into today. Y'all don't even know yet. One thing I do want to shout out is shout out to the phone booth for giving us the platform to do this lovely little podcast. And everyone go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Check it out. And while you're there, check out the merch store, and you
Ooh.
can see the Pick Is In t-shirts now available, and they're only $20, dude. That's a great deal. Do you know how expensive t-shirts are these days? It's fucking cheap.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that looks fire.
Right. What else? Hey, what else going on? What else? What do we got tonight?
Oh, folks, we got a good show lined up for you. We're going to talk a little NBA news, talk about what's going on in the land of the NBA, a little NFL as well, and then we have a great conversation that we recorded with Darth Voita from Suns Jam Session, and that was an awesome conversation, brother.
Yeah, man. It was a great chat. Always love talking to members of the Valley and the love of the Suns. It's always a great conversation when you're on the same team.
That's right. Yeah. So all you Phoenix Suns folks out there, stay tuned. We're going to get through some news first, and then probably show that later on in the stream. But yeah, excited to show the folks at home. It's a great talk. I had fun talking to him last night.
Yeah. So everybody look out for Mr. Darth Voita coming in hot here in a bit. Oh, dude, you know what? Can we give a special birthday shout out to the legendary Glenn Rice? one of my favorite players of all time.
That's right. It's his birthday today.
Yeah,
Did you hand him that trophy when he won?
I did not, but I
Okay.
did give him the Poop of the Day award. Gosh, I don't remember how far back. And it was so funny because he saw the award and he told me congratulations. And I was like, dude, you won the award. Why are you congratulating me?
Thinking about bringing that back, Snoop?
Yeah, maybe at some point I might do it. I don't know what the heck is going on with Evie Mux right now.
Acting like a fool, huh, Evie?
Yeah, I can't get the thing off the screen here. Keep talking to the people for a minute, Haywood.
Yeah, no problem. I remember when you were doing this last summer, quite a few ex-athletes reached out to you. I think you should bring it back. I thought it was cool as shit. You know, folks like Antonio Brown, Glenn Rice, some other people in the industry. I thought it was pretty cool. And basically, it was the award, what, once a week that I believe that you were doing, I believe, correct?
Um, I don't remember how often I was doing it. Maybe once a week, I think. I think I did only maybe like 20 of them. But man,
What's up
I
with
am
the Evie?
having I am having some computer issues over here. You just keep talking to the people and keep it going while I try to fix this.
No problem. Check us out on YouTube, everybody. At The Pick Is In. Go show us some love. Thanks for all the subs and doms. Appreciate you. Show us some love. That is one of our platforms. And go follow Snoop Von Poop over at Twitter as well and YouTube. He's got a couple platforms over there. Appreciate all you people out there and all the love that we've gotten. And then check us out at Rumble, at The Pick Is In. Go show us some love over there as well. And I want to take this minute and just thank all the people. I had a really rough week this week with the passing of my boy, my dog, my son, Charlie. And I just want to say thank you for all the generous people that's out there that has donated. I started a GoFundMe to help with cost. It wasn't easy. It was a really rough weekend for me, but I just want to say thank you to all the people that's supporting out there. It was to the point where I couldn't even, he couldn't move. Like he had cancer, he had lymphoma, and it spread really bad. And it was to the point where I was carrying him around. So I had to do like a mobile guy, mobile vet to come over and put him down. And he is now in heaven. So shout out to all the people out there. Got a lot of love for you guys out there. Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, folks. This is what happens when it comes to streaming. Just hang tight, sit tight. We're going to get this fixed up for you. Not sure if we're back on. But I know all the people out there, if you can listen, thank you again. I have no human kids. My kids are my pets, and I've gotten a lot of love in this space. So thank you very, very much. And stuff's expensive. And yeah, I've never done a GoFundMe whatsoever. Never really wanted to start one, but I had to. Since I couldn't take him to the vet because I didn't want to put him through more stress, and he couldn't move. I had a mobile guy come over, and that was pretty expensive. So shout out to all the people. Thank you so very much. Love you guys. And we're going to get back online as soon as Snoop gets things fixed. He's trying to figure it out as we go, so just bear with us. Just want to say thank you for all the people in this space, man. For real, it's meant the world to me. And people like Phone Booth, all the people in the football sports space, you guys know who you are. Just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. So hopefully we can get things up and running here. I'm not even sure if you can hear me, but we're going to get this party started.
Thank you for holding it down, Haywood. Ah, man, thank God we survived that. Fixed the computer, and we are good to go.
Cheers, all the great people at home. Cheers to Snoop Von Poop, and thank you for all the support that people's given me this week. Love you guys.
Cheers. I think I jinxed us today when I was recording with Chaz Stumbo earlier today, and we were talking about the differences of doing a live podcast and a recorded podcast. And this is one of the things, you see, if Haywood wasn't here to hold it down and I was doing that stream, the whole stream would have crashed right there. But Haywood held it together. So thank you, Haywood.
No problem. No problem. I already talked about our platform, so we don't have to show that. So we got a little bit of delay. But I want to bring up something before we get into most of the news that you brought up last week. Are we able to share screens, Snoop?
We certainly are.
All right. You brought up last week to start the show. Condolences to the family of Kyle Busch as he passed last week right before the show. Looks like the diagnosis of what happened actually came out. Died from pneumonia, and it just progressed. And just want to, my thoughts and prayers are with his family and Vegas born. So rest in peace, brother.
Absolutely. Rest in peace. Oh man. What do you want to get into first, my dude?
I want to I got something to share, and I want to shout you out.
All right.
I want to shout you out. Snoop Von Poop called the Knicks making the finals. What was that, like 2.5 months ago?
It was like 2.5 years ago, but it just took a little bit longer than expected.
Yeah. Since the first time since 1999. And you remember that final, Snoop? Do you remember who was in it? The Spurs and the Knicks were in it.
I did know that, and it's there's a bunch of symbolic meaning behind the seasons too, and like if San Antonio were to make it on here, they'll be going for their 6th championship over that long of time, and like there's all kinds of weird numbers that connect into it. I don't have anything to pull up and show. I think maybe everybody check out Behold a Pale Horse. He might have posted about that, or one of those guys out there might have posted something about it. But yeah, it's all connected to Popovich too. And if you notice, they're parading him around. So it seems like it makes sense. All you conspiracy theorists out there that thought Scott Foster was going to be reffing tonight know how the playoffs work. He just literally reffed like the game before. He won't be reffing again until the finals. Him nor Tony Brothers. Neither one will be reffing again until the finals. So
the Knicks are in. They swept the Cavs. That was freaking surprising, by the way. They just swept them. We got the Spurs Thunder game 6 tonight in San Antonio. Go Spurs. I want to see them push it to 7 games. I love watching the Spurs, and I hate saying that, as a Suns fan, but I like this team a lot, dude, just how they're built. And then breaking news right before he took the show, New York Knicks center Mitchell Robinson suffered a broken right pinky finger, and there's no timetable for his return. Is this going to put him out? A broken pinky? Can't they just tape this up?
Is it his shooting hand? It doesn't say what hand. Right.
Well,
pinky fingers.
He can't shoot.
Well,
as it is. He can just rebound and play defense.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Before we get into some more news, Snoop, you got any things that you want to bring up and talk about?
Yeah, I got some NBA stuff, news. Actually, speaking of sweeps, why don't I get this out of the way? Because shout out to the Las Vegas Golden Knights on their 2nd trip within the last, 5 years to the Lord Stanley Cup. Here's Bam in Asia at the Knights game.
Come on, just guard. Yeah.
He's a hockey fan?
Apparently so.
Come on. Oh, he caught that smooth. Oh. Lit, like we back in this. We just gotta score one more time before my heart can rest a little bit. Don't play with your food. Don't play with your food. Don't play with your food. Oh! Oh! Come on! Oh! He down. He down. Come on! Come on! Come on! Get there! Oh! What? Oh, that man, nice.
But
Tell the folks at home a little bit about, why that's so precious to you. Because you're from Vegas. Tell the folks at home a little bit. You guys have been to a couple finals, right?
yeah, this is be the second, or no, I think it's the 3rd time we've been in the history of the Golden Knights, and we won the last time, and going for another one this year. It's a lot of fun, man. It's really that's what brought the Las Vegas sports community together more than anything is the Golden Knights. You know, nobody give a fuck about the Raiders,
Sorry,
the
Raider fan.
The A's.
All right. And that's the Knights are always good. Like
Yeah, I mean, dude, you know
they're always
they
good.
fired their coach in the middle of the season. They still make it. You know.
No shit, they fired their coach in the middle. Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, good on them. Congratulations to the Golden Knights. So, looking forward to another exciting Stanley Cup.
Sure. And yeah, I think the first year, your expansion year, you guys even were really good. Like you guys have always been good. Like most expansion teams don't start out being good, but dude, they're always freaking in contention. So go Knights for Snoop.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Did you see the All NBA first, second, and third team, Snoop?
I don't think I did.
All right.
Maybe
so
I did. I can't remember. Maybe I did.
remember, we got that 65 game rule, so I wouldn't say some of these players are deserving, but I got it posted up. I got this posted up if you want to share it. The All NBA teams were announced. First team was SGA, Joker, Wemby, Luca, and Cade. I totally agree with that first team. I'm totally okay with that.
Except for Luca didn't and Cade didn't play enough games, but go on.
True, they filed for exempt, and they
Were
got
granted
but,
it. But other players were denied.
yeah, true. Yeah, I did see that. We got to totally. But second team, Jaylen Brown, I agree. Kawhi had one of his best years. KD, so. Jaylen, Donovan Mitchell. And look at this third team. Duran, Johnson, Murray, Maxey, I all agree with. Chet Holmgren, somebody that averages 17 and 9, is on an all NBA team. That's head scratching. It's probably because of the criteria.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and you know, you say Kawhi has his best season. He played 44 games, so I mean that's I don't know.
this year?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
How many games did he play?
I'm not. I'll look it up right now if you want.
I believe it's 44.
65.
65. Okay.
That's why he's eligible for these teams. So I don't know. Chet Holmgren making it. It's kind of head scratching. But moving over to the All NBA defensive teams, Wemby, Holmgren, I agree with. Sir Thompson's a beast. Rudy Gobert, Derek White. Second team, Snoop's Bam Adebayo, Scotty Barnes, Carson Wallace, Dyson Daniels, and OG Anunoby. And Goody should have got at least one vote, I thought. But the All NBA defensive teams and the All NBA three teams were announced. Any thoughts on what you see?
Not really. I don't think they're the most important of awards, you know. I mean, it is what it is, you know. And like I said, you know, if you're gonna bend the rules for some players, you got to do it for all, you know. I don't know.
So, Coach of the Year was announced. Joe Mazzulla of Boston. Shout out to Carter. Got 62 first place votes with a total of 392 votes. Our boy Jordan Ott finished fifth. He didn't get one first place vote. He got one second place vote and 8 third place votes. I thought he should have been a little bit higher.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, nobody expected the Suns to win, what, 35 games I think they had them at. So
30. Yeah.
they're only 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember Vic. Yeah.
Wow, that's extremely low.
What you got, Snoop? What you got?
Do you want to? I got a baseball thing. All this is Sun stuff.
It's okay. I got some more NBA if we want to go through
I
it.
got NBA. I got all the NBA stuff you want right here, dog.
Okay.
I got. Look at this right here. I got Tony Brothers getting ready for an NBA game right here. Tony Brothers when he's got his money on Oklahoma City. Look at that.
Have a sense of humor, people.
That's right. That's right. I got some locker room footage of the Spurs. If you want to get to that, hold on, I'm just looking for it because the stupid bookmarks always get out of order somehow in here.
Yours too, huh?
Yeah, it's a X thing. Yep, yep. But all right, here's leaked footage of the locker room after the Game 4 win versus the Thunder.
God, I was hacking that flopper all night. Trust me, I wasn't going to call anything for that fish tonight. My job is to extend the series. Papa Silver is going to be rich after the series. Great job, Scott. I'm going to need you again for Game 6, so be ready. It's going to cost you extra. Why the hell is there a fish tank in here?
That's just so we can scout Shay's movement for the next game. We got a clone of him.
God, I was hacking that flopper all night. Trust me.
Oh man,
That's funny.
right?
Oh man.
Let's see here. We got this little nugget right here. Tony Brothers and Shy before the game.
Oh man.
Oh man is right.
All right.
I thought this was funny. Even though the Spurs ended up losing this game, but look at Stephen Castle before the game as Shy arrives for the game this week. Look at this. He's already guarding him in the tunnel.
Oh man.
It's good stuff right there.
Thanks for the laugh, Snoop. Thanks for the laugh. Oh man.
Let me see, what else did I have here? That Sun stuff. Dude, let's listen to James Harden.
Oh
speaking
yeah.
after losing Game 4 here. This is wild right here. He literally says, "I think I did pretty good defensively, been extremely solid, and offensively getting guys shots."
Horrible.
Okay.
Horrible. He had an awful series.
Personally, kind of like self-assess your playoff run, and just kind of in general how you fit in with this group. How do you feel? How do you take away from it?
I think I did pretty good. You know, like I don't grade myself off shot making. You know, I think
Pretty good.
coming here was just a piece to fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled, and you know, defensively being extremely solid, offensively, you know, getting guys shots and fitting into a system that was already in place.
Personally, kind of like self-assess your
I mean, so that's just delusional, man.
I agree with you. He had a horrible freaking series. That team was loaded with talent, and they got fucking swept. They
Right.
gave up in that fourth game. I don't have the clip, but Charles went off on him on TNT. Like, how the hell do you just not show up? Like, that team was pretty loaded. So pretty head scratching, Snoop. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
he's-
good points with what you brought up in the past. You've opened my eyes up more about it. You know, like, is he overrated? I'm starting to come across like he is. You know,
Yeah.
do you think his? Go ahead.
I've never been a fan of him, which is ironic given that I'll let you tell the story of when I called his points. Go ahead.
So yeah, so a few years back, I think it was me, Snoop, El Poopy went. I'm not sure if that's the Poop Patriot that game as well, but
Maybe.
Snoop before the game, he like throws out a number that he thinks James Harden is going to score tonight, the exact amount of points. Now, Michael Jordan used to count backwards sometimes to his opponents and how many points he was like. He would start at like 50 and he'll just go 48, 46. Like every time he scored, just count it down and count it down. Snoop, I forget the exact number,
56.
but you 46, wasn't it?
50.
Well, whatever number you said he was going to have a certain amount of points. And every time he scored during the game, Snoop was counting down the points. And no BS, folks. He called exactly what he scored. Like, exactly.
56.
Was
Like I
it
said.
that many? Was it that many? Holy shit.
That's what made it so crazy. You know, because
Yeah.
it was a big number.
Dude. And you're like, you don't just say random numbers unless they come to your head. And like, you're like, he's going to do it. I just got a feeling about it. You counted it down. And you kept looking at us. Like when it was getting closer, we're like, holy shit. Holy
All the way
shit.
down to the last bucket. Boom.
Didn't he get the last bucket like minute left in the game and he checked out and he's like, and you looked at us and you're like, money.
It was late in the game. So, dude, we've got some footage from China, people practicing to play against SGA. Look at this.
你有3分吗？不是，亚历山大这扣篮也不行啊。
So, I mean, the world knows. The world's on to you, Shy. Come on, man.
Yeah. Folks, got to have a good sense of humor, man. It's like, it's kind of hard to watch this guy play. I saw a stat, Snoop. What was it, like 37%? 37% of all the shots in the playoffs, he's on the ground.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like the way he plays it's hard to watch. There's whistles getting blown every 40, 50 seconds. It's definitely hard to watch. And they don't even need to do that. That team is stacked. They don't need to do that. But yeah.
Right. This is just play. So I got another quick little video footage here of Shy in the locker room giving them a pep talk after their Game 4 loss to the Spurs here. Let's pull this up.
We have to flop harder, guys. What is our motto? When in doubt, flop like a fish. Mr. Shiny Head, you had 0 damn points tonight. You have to flop harder. Mr. Abraham Lincoln, you're so cheeks that I don't even think flopping is gonna help you. Get out of my face. Stop dancing! I've had enough of you clowns. We have to flop harder, guys. What is
Oh man, good stuff.
I got one more thing NBA news, and I got some NFL stuff. It finally got passed today, folks. The NBA Board of Governors have passed a new anti-taking rule that includes expanding the draft lottery from 14 to 16 teams, a regulation zone where the bottom 3 teams get penalized with lessen chances for the number 1 pick and flatten odds. So that got approved. There's a lot of details with it. Just go look it up. Too much to go over, but that's what I got for all NBA, Snoop.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they enforce things like that. I mean, it's a slippery slope, you know. I have another NBA announcement here. The NBA announced today that 38 players have notified the league that they wish to be removed from the list of early entry players eligible for the selection in the NBA Draft 2026. Following the NBA's early entry withdrawal deadline of 5 p.m. Eastern on June 13th, 2026, the NBA will announce the list of any additional players who provide the NBA with timely notice that they wish to be removed from the list of early entry players eligible for selection in the NBA Draft. So 38 players decided they're going back to school because they are not yet good enough to make the NBA, is what I read from that.
Plus, you got all the NL stuff, you know. But the people, it's a completely different game now. You can make money and play in college now.
That's true. That's a very good point. Very good point.
What else you got, Snoop?
I can't play this one because it's from ESPN, but there's a funny clip out there from inside the NBA of Charles Barkley asking what OG stands for in OG Anunoby. And
What did he answer?
It's pretty, I don't know, and I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get
Get
flagged
right?
again. Let me see. Got one more little funny video here from Tim Duncan. So let's show the old man some love.
Listen here, kid. We're going to change your name to Stefan Apartment the way you're putting up these bricks. Get lost before I tell Coach Pop how trash you've been. Miss Wendy, how in the hell do you get bodied by a kid who dances on TikTok all day? You are 8 feet tall and grabbing 4 damn rebounds out there.
Hey, Uncle Timmy, want to shoot a TikTok together?
Shut up, kid.
Listen here, kid. We're going to change.
What? That's hilarious.
Yep.
Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. Did you ever hear the story of Garnett? How Duncan talks shit. It's only like 1 or 2 word phrases. Like he doesn't like, he's a weird talk shitter. Like he'll make a shot and he'll be like, gotcha. Or like you'll miss, you'll be like, not good enough. Like it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Big fundamental.
I did not know that. I got one more thing from your boy Dan Bickley here.
Okay.
He says no longer should players who exaggerate the first sign of contact be rewarded in the NBA, and this starts at home because Devin Booker is a prime flopping offender. Oof.
Did not see that. He used to be worse about bitching to refs and his body language younger. I don't see him doing nowhere near the amount of flopping that team does. Sorry, I just don't. Bickley, I don't know about that.
Right. But I think that's all I got for the NBA. You know, we got a little Suns coming up later in the episode. Yeah. What you got?
I got some NFL news, Snoop, I would like to share. Did you hear about Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
All right. So he was arrested. He was booked in Brown County Jail on 5 charges. Battery, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property and domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, strangulation, and suffocation. And I got his police report right here. I would like to share. This is pretty nuts. They fucking strangled somebody. And man, not cool. I hope whoever the victim was is okay and out of that situation. But that's freaking crazy, Snoop. This happened, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
So.
And I also heard that the charges were dropped. I'm actually looking it up right now as we speak.
Really?
Yeah. It says no charges have been filed yet. So that doesn't mean they're not coming. He's been released from custody. But I did see somebody had posted that the charges were dropped, but it doesn't sound like that is accurate. But they are reviewing the evidence before making a formal charging decision.
Wow.
So he can still face punishment from the NFL, though, regardless. So that could be coming no matter what. But we'll see. They may drop certain charges and keep some, or they might recharge him with a different crime. That's how police do it. They figure shit out later, you know?
In other words, folks, Snoop's saying just go ahead and suspend every Packer. That'd be okay.
I'm all for it. You know, they're a disgusting team. They don't need to be in the NFL. They play dirty. And, you know, they can all go sit in jail. Suspend them all.
For Snoop's birthday, order him a cheese grater. That's what he needs.
Sure. I could use one, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy about Josh Jacobs, man. And other NFL news, I got it pulled up, Snoop. Reigning MVP Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams have reached agreement on a 1-year extension for $55 million. So 1 more year for the MVP after a great season last year. And Pro Bowl wide receiver Nico Collins and the Texans reached an agreement on a contract that guarantees a salary the next 2 seasons, includes $9 million cash increase this year and an $8 million increase next year. So he's a damn good player. Good for him to get paid. And then 5-time Pro Bowler Derwin James has now become the highest paid safety for the second time of his career after agreeing to a 3-year, $25 million extension that includes $57.5 million guaranteed. Oh, so he signed an extension with more guarantees. So on top of his deal that he has, so good for him there. And then in other news, running back Bucky Irvin is still rehabbing from his off-season shoulder surgery and should be ready later this summer. He's actually a guy that people have had their eye on. Some bad reports are coming out of camp, but look into that and see what news comes out because he's a big-time running back for that team. And then in other news, New York Giants star receiver Malik Neighbors will be back at some point, just don't know when. And it wasn't a simple knee operation, so something to look out for John Harbaugh and the coach. And then Daniel Jones, fresh off Achilles tear, is back on the practice field. Good to see, especially from anybody that tears Achilles. I have done that, so props to whoever does that. Props to him. And then Patty Mahomes is back on the field after 5 months and 11 days, fresh off surgery. And that's all happened this week, Snoop. Any thoughts to any of that, brother?
You said Mahomes got hurt and had surgery this week and is already back?
No, 5 months and 11 days ago, he had surgery on his ACL. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty quick, but honestly, I don't know, what he did as far as recovery, if he went and got stem cells or something, maybe that timeline is less, so there's new medicines and new procedures out there. So, I mean, it's maybe possible. I mean, Tatum came back faster than I thought he would.
Right. And our boy Mason West, who's the doctor, made a post about this, saying that he wouldn't be surprised if he's not. What was the exact words? He's not saying that he won't play week 1, but it's unlikely. And, he's in that type of field, but pretty surprising to see him back on the field. Good for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, if he sits the first few games.
All right. Totally. And then Puka Nacua made his first appearance with the public since checking himself into drug rehab, saying he's very grateful at today's press conference of OTAs for the Rams. So, Puka, get your head right. I hope things are going great for you, brother. For all you people at home that suffer from any type of addiction, mental health, there's nothing wrong with asking for it. Nothing wrong at all with asking for help. That's like a huge step. Just because we're men doesn't mean we can't ask for help.
That's right.
We need more brotherly love out there.
Yeah. I got one little bit of NFL news here concerning your boy Kyler Murray. And Kyler, they do have Gaming Anonymous. Feel free to hit up Call of Duty AA if you need it.
Do they really?
I don't fucking know. I'm joking. But, this is Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy on their relationship with one another so far. Not exactly the same answer.
Tyler, can you describe your relationship with JJ to this point?
It's been great. It's been great. Obviously, I know he's a younger guy, so any way I can help him. Obviously, I feel like I've played 7 years now, going on 8. So I'm considered a veteran, even though I don't see myself as that. Give him any knowledge that he needs. Again, we're both competitors, and I know we both want what's best for the team.
Has he been receptive to hearing criticism?
Of course. Yeah, he's overly acceptive, and he's always communicating, asking questions, stuff like that. So it's been good.
JJ, what's your relationship been like with Kyler so far?
It's just like two guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. So,
is there any awkwardness like between you two?
Awkwardness, it's just like the same feeling, when you're in high school and there's another person on the other side of the room. That's just kind of how it is. So I wouldn't say there's any awkwardness.
So he didn't say no.
Right. Dude, Snoop, a lot of people in the fantasy industry are high as hell on Kyler this year. And we'll see. It's make or break. We'll see what happens. I know J.J. McCarthy had a horrible season last year, so hopefully he can pick it up. But hopefully not for your sake. Come on, go Bears.
I'm not worried about Kyler Murray.
I know you're not. No. What else you got, Snoop?
I just got some baseball stuff.
Okay. Here, I got a couple other things I would like to for football. Did you hear about Travis Kelce, now a minority owner for the Cleveland Guardians Baseball Club?
I did.
Okay, so yeah, that's Interesting. You're starting to see that more and more over the last 10 years. Players going to ownership. So,
Well, yeah, when they get these exorbitant contracts making hundreds of millions of dollars, now they can afford stakes in teams. So,
right.
makes sense.
I would like to give a shout out to our boys over at the Fantasy Space Podcast. Their new podcast takes off next week, next Wednesday. Tune in. Shout out to Nico, Nader, and Tip. We'll definitely support you. I just want to give you guys a shout out. So anybody that's watching here that loves fantasy football, watch them. They're very informative to give you the edge heading into the next season. And let's see. I think I got some Cardinal stuff, and I think that's about it. Do you want? Should we talk about that?
Yeah, do it.
All right. Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals remain significantly apart on a reworked deal. Snoop, I looked this up. So if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, the least amount of money you make is $22 million. He's making $6 million this year, and Gardner Minshew, who's supposed to be a backup, is making more money than him. Fields, backup quarterback, makes $11 million. So Cardinals, pay the man, dude. Just pay him a 1-year deal. Deserve it. Stop being cheap. You got plenty of money. So that's just another week, and nothing's changed there. And then I got Buda Baker at OTAs talking about players skipping OTAs. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
You're good.
Okay. Shout out to Tyler Drake.
Yeah, of course. I understand it. It's OTAs. It's we don't have to be here. They got their situations that they got going on, and when they come into the building, it's welcoming them in with open arms and just understanding that the NFL is a business. So no love lost. Love those guys when they get in the building. They'll be in the building, and just keeping the main thing.
And then in other Cardinals news as well, Josh Sweat, the defensive end, is still holding out because he wants to be traded per reports. And I got Coach Mike LaFleur talking about that for a little bit. So I'll go ahead and post that up. Am I good, Snoop?
Yep.
I don't even read into the offers. I don't look at. I'm just excited the fact that I don't have to game plan against this guy. I got to know him when I first got this job. He's a good dude. He goes about his process, and he's not the first guy to go about his process the way he is in terms of how he's training and all that. I've been around a lot of really good football players that have done this. But like I said, I'm happy I don't have to game plan against him. I don't.
So Cardinals news, OTAs. We've got most teams OTAs. Mandatories coming up. So Snoop, we only got 3 more months?
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm hoping your boy Sweat will come to the city of Chicago. That'd be fun.
Ooh, that's actually a great call, dude.
And you know what else I was thinking while you were playing the Buda Baker video is I've spent an unusual amount of time on the holidays with his aunt and uncle.
Friends of ours. Yeah.
Very strange.
Great people, by the way. They live out here close to us. We hung out with them a few times. Very great people. Nice people. Just down to earth, man. Their whole family.
Seems like we see them every Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bakers. I remember when I met Buddha at camp last year, I started dropping names of this family that we know. And he just looked at me. He goes, how the hell you know them? I'm like, we hang out on Christmas, like every year it seems like. And we live out right by him. So he was like, oh, crap. Gave me an autograph, talked to me for a few minutes. But Buddha's cool as hell, too.
Oh, yeah. What else you got? You got any more NFL?
Let's see here. I only got one more thing to show before the recording. Do you have anything?
Just one bit of baseball.
Here, I'll share mine real fast. Am I good, Snoop?
Yep.
Folks, Fantasy Football Expo is coming up in late July, July 24th to the 26th. Don't forget to sign up, book your trip, and get going. Can't wait for this and highly looking forward to it. Shout out to Bob Lung and the Fantasy Football Expo and all the people in the space, especially all the friends of the show that's been on. Can't wait to go there. It's going to be an absolute blast. That's coming up very soon. So hopefully your boy Haywood will be out there. What you got for baseball, Snoop?
What I have here is
to communicate.
The Cubs have not won a game since May 15th, the day that Billy Goat Tavern owner Sam Sionis passed away. Is the curse back for the Chicago Cubs?
Wow.
The legend of the curse of the Billy Goat, the guy that put the curse on him, apparently died on the 15th, and the Cubs have not won since.
So I believe it's 10-game losing streak. I believe they won yesterday.
They won yesterday. Okay,
They
good.
won
So-
yesterday.
okay.
Man. Let's see here. Who are they playing today? I know they're damn. The Cubs are winning right now, 3-2 in the bottom of in the top of the seventh. So hopefully 2 in a row today for your team. Yeah, let's go.
Maybe Vince has rounded up his goats and headed back to Kazakhstan. Maybe that's what's going on here. No more Billy Goats for Vince. Sorry, pal.
I plead the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Oh, everybody, we had an amazing chat with Mr. Darth Voita. You want to talk about his podcast for a minute, Haywood?
Yeah. So Suns jam session. They literally go on after every single Suns game. That's some work, Snoop. Every
Yes.
game. That is some freaking work. I think 2018, 2019 was their first year. Probably the best Suns podcast like that I've known of. I used to watch it, and I've watched quite a few of them lately, but damn good show, very informative, chops it up, hell of a cool guy. Yeah, it was really cool. God, they got a big following over there, and they got, hopefully maybe next time we can get his co-host on, but yeah, Suns Jam.
Definitely.
Suns Jam, so go check it out to all you Suns heads out there, and then, yeah, we had an awesome recording. It was just awesome chopping it up. We chop it up about quite a few things at the beginning, you know, like metal music and stuff like that, and movies and stuff like that. But we talk a lot about Suns, and it was just good talking to him, Snoop. Look forward to many more with him, brother.
Yeah, one other thing I want to bring up before we get into the interview is check out The Bright Side of the Sun. That is where he does like a full-on Suns blog. They've got multiple writers over there. So go check out Bright Side of the Sun. Here's an article that John wrote. The NBA keeps telling fans not to believe what they see. So I'm assuming that's in response to what Adam Silver said about the refs being on the up and up. So everybody check out The Bright Side of the Sun if you like to read. You know, and then check out the Suns Jam Session podcast. Got anything else you want to add in before we jump to the interview here, Haywood?
I didn't know he was an author.
Oh,
John, he had a book about Suns history. I got to get it.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
He's on another level when it comes to stuff. I like learning. I didn't know he was an author. And like, just look, he's dude, he's right up my alley when it comes to being a nerd about sports. Freaking absolutely loved it. Great conversation. So get your beers, crack one open, enjoy the recording. It's a great conversation. It's about an hour, 10 minutes, Snoop?
Hour 9, yep.
Hour and 9 minutes. So, folks, after the recording, we're going to come back to the Pickens in studio and talk Suns. I have some Suns history I like to go over, and I'm sure Snoop has some stuff as well. So, what was your thoughts on the conversation, Snoop?
Great conversation. You know, I enjoy talking about everything we talked about, the music and the Suns, and just talking about the game, man. It's a great chat. You know.
So enjoy the conversation. Love you guys. Thank you for all the reposts and likes. If you've got any comments, chime in, people. Don't be scared. Or
Don't be scared.
Scared.
All right, everybody, check it out. We'll be back in an hour and 9 minutes.
Cheers, everybody.
The Lightning is the best hotel available.
Dude, for real though, like that's the one, dude. I love the instrumental, the Call of Cthulhu. How do you say it?
Yeah, track 8 on Ride the Lightning.
Creeping Death, that master, man. Oh, Creeping Death.
The whole story, of the Creeping Death coming down, the Moses times. It was just, it painted a picture. I started listening to Metallica, not when it was first coming out. I'm 43 years old, right? So, Ride the Lightning came out in 84? I was 2. But like once I hit like freshman year of high school, I was in art classes. I'm an artistic guy. You can see there's a painting behind me. Like I painted that. You know, it's
Oh
like so
wow.
I would just sit there and put on the
Hold
CD
on, let
player.
me let me blow it up. Let me blow it up so we can
Yeah.
see it a little bit. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you got, let's see, you got, Marley, Chambers, Marion, Walter Davis, KJ, Amari, Alvin Adams, the Hawk, Dick Van
Got my
Arsdale.
man, the Hawk.
Yeah, dude, I got like a 19. Check this out. There's a slabbed Connie Hawkins,
Wow.
Tops,
Alright.
card.
Nice.
That's fucking rad.
But that's what I used to do, man. Is just throw on the headphones, listen to some Metallica, and I educated myself along the way of just like what was amazing metal music. I grew up in a household that we didn't, a very strict Catholic household, right? So it was a lot of oldies and records. And once my parents got divorced, I was like, CD player on, Metallica. And I just like went off. My sketchbooks are pretty intense from freshman year high school. Let me just say that.
Did you hide your Metallica CDs in like Carpenter cases or anything? Like
No, who did my mom? Joan Baez,
Joe Baez. Okay, all right.
No, by that time the parents were divorced, and I could, my mom. I'm the second oldest of 5. I had 3 little brothers below me. My parents are like, we're gonna work on them. He's in high school. We've done what we can with him. So it was like Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Megadeth. I was a skater in high school. So I had some pretty intense sessions just rocking out to it. And it's funny because recently I was like, I went on one of those, you know how it is. You just visit old music that you haven't listened to in 5 years. And I just went on like a Metallica rant. And I was like, oh my God, this music is just so fantastic. All the way up until Reload. Or no, was S&M after Reload?
Yes.
Yeah, all the way up to S&M. Garage Inc. in between those. That's Garage Inc.'s an amazing album too. But like up until then, and then like once Newstead was out, so was I.
We're having a great conversation about music, and Snoop's like, I'm going to hit record.
Yeah, let's just roll into it.
Man,
Snoop. I love it too. Dude, the bass player from Megadeth saved my life a few years back. So I'm
like for real?
Like
yeah.
for real.
What?
Yeah. Dave Ellefson, man. He helped me kick drugs. At one point. So yeah,
that's crazy because Snoop. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Snoop. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about 10, 11 years now, and it's just wild. Just a chance run into him one day, too, got me back on track.
That's fantastic.
And I grew up around the music industry, so it's like it was just random. I had just moved to the Valley.
Like
back. I should say back to the Valley.
like which valley?
The Phoenix Valley.
Okay, I was about to say because I grew up in LA. I grew up in the San Fernando
the
Valley.
Valley of the Sun,
the real valley. That's where
yeah,
the basin, the basin of Phoenix.
The basin. There you go. Is that gonna be the next Suns jersey? It's like they get rid of the valley because the San Fernando Valley's kind of like, hey man, we're actually the valley. In fact, there's a show on tonight called The Valley that I watch with my wife, and I hate to admit it, and I'm admitting it live, but. Like they
4 minutes. Hold on, we're already 4 minutes in and we have a clip.
But the next jersey will say the basin.
Right. Yeah, Snoop is good. He's had that connection with Dave from Megadeth. That one thing before me and Snoop met, I had rehab problems when I was a kid, and Dave Mustaine was in the same room as me in the NA meeting. That woke me up.
Whoa!
So,
it just goes to show you, man. Just goes to show you, dude. It's everybody needs help, and it's okay to raise your hand and say, "Hey, you know what? I could use a little help along the way." And when you got the support of people around you, your brothers, your sisters around you who get behind you and support you, amazing things can happen. You can come up with a Twitter handle, Snoop Von Poop. Anything can happen.
Great name, Snoop.
The name. Caught my eye. I was like, "This is an amazing name."
I appreciate that. It actually started as a joke, man. Our friend El Poopy, like he had joined, he joined Twitter, and he asked me to like join and just talk shit to people with him, and so I joined just to be supportive, and then I realized I don't really want to just talk shit to people. I'd rather really talk to people, But it's such a great name that I had to keep it and roll with it,
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Man, Snoop, I'm excited to have this guy on. Big fan of this guy's work. Man, this guy is a little bit of a legend in the Valley with his podcast, one of the longest lasting Suns podcasts. No, I got to give you props. You have a lot of great content, and you put a lot of hard work into it. It's kind of it's time to gloat you a little bit, but big fan of yours. Managing editor over at Bright Side of the Sun, co-host of Suns Jam Session and the Locked On PHX Suns podcast, the one and only. Should I say Darth Voita or should I say John Voita?
I'm one and the same. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, brother. Cheers to you if you got one at home. I know you do the Sprite.
I'm doing a Sprite right now, but I cheers unto thee.
Sprite Zero, man. What's going on there?
It's delicious, okay? And it's got no caffeine, because the last thing I need is caffeine. I'm a naturally caffeinated person, so I just do it for the flavor, man.
I'll tell you, I can't drink coffee, dude. I do like 2 cups of coffee a year.
I get so jittery with coffee. I can't.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Real
bad.
I wake up, I'm a natural cup of coffee. It drives my wife nuts because she's not.
Dude, you look like El Poopy a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. He does that. A little bit. Let's show him a picture sometime.
Wait till you smell me.
I bet you smell better than the real El Poopy.
I'm sure there's a reason why he got that nickname.
He went to Puerto Rico and he came home with the stupidest shirt I've ever seen someone bring home from on a vacation, and it says something El Papi, and he says to me, he goes, "I want you to call me El Papi." I go, "No, dude, you're El Poopy," and that's how he got the name.
And henceforth, you are dubbed El Poopy.
Yes, that's pretty much how it happened.
How'd you get Darth for your next name? How'd that come about?
Well, a couple ways. One, I like Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars nut, but I definitely like Star Wars. I think the Empire's right, so I'm part of the dark side. And it just, back when we were creating social media names, God knows, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it feels like now. I was like Darth Vader, Darth Voita. It just kind of had the same cadence to it, and it just kind of stuck. And I didn't think back when I was creating my username that I was going to host a podcast, be a managing editor of a Phoenix Suns website, and then anyone would actually say it out loud. But yeah, I'll be walking in Suns games, I'll hear Darth, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, that's how I came up with it.
That's awesome. My original X name a year ago was Haywood Giablomi, but the real version was Haywood Giablomi, which Snoop Von Poop created. And then I was doing the sports content and got really deep into it because my guy Snoop, and I changed it to Haywood's Almanac because one of my favorite things is Back to the Future with Biff's Almanac, trying to predict sports. A little bit up your alley with FanDuel. So that's cool that you, I like the name.
Yeah, I'm a big Back to the Future guy too, man. Absolutely. It's funny because the date that it happens, the date where he goes back in time, right? If you sync everything up, it's October 25th, 1985. That's the actual date. And it's my little brother was actually born on that day, And so it's one of those days that's always kind of stuck with me. And I grew up a huge fan. So I love how you got the logo, you got the mug, representing the Back to the Future fans out there.
Dude, we just got shirts with the logo. Oh man, I'm gonna have to pull it up. Look at these bad boys. You guys keep talking while I pull it up.
John, I appreciate you showing us some love and giving us some time. We're kind of new at this podcast game a little bit compared to you, and we're doing pretty good things. Love just chatting it up with people. Try not to have too much script, just have a good, genuine conversation with people, and just a big fan of your work. Is Metallica your favorite metal band?
Metal band, yes. Overall band, probably not. But yeah, favorite metal band. Going back to I started off the podcast talking about 20, 30 years ago, just rocking out, making some art to Metallica, the inspiration. I go all over the place. I'm all over the place with music, man. I love all stuff. But as far as metal bands are concerned, yeah, I got to go with Metallica.
It's a great one. It's probably my third favorite metal band.
Who's number one?
Korn.
Okay, fair. And then number two is?
Number two is Pantera.
Pantera was always too hard for me, man.
Yeah.
They were going on at the same. I was just like, whoa, man, that's next level. And Korn, I just wasn't into. And that stuff was popping right when I was in high school, but I wasn't necessarily into it. I started to I started to veer at the end of high school, right when Korn and all, that's the TRL era, right?
Yeah.
All the poppy shit was going on.
Yeah.
And then you had the Korn music video, Freak on a Leash is going on, and like great stuff. But I started to veer into hip hop for a while. And, because Eminem came out right around that time frame. And, Marshall Mathers III, I'm John Voita III. He was born on October 17th, 1972, October 17th, 1982. So, I mean, there was a kinship spirit there. And I also hated my dad.
That's funny.
Snoop, is Pantera your favorite metal band of all time?
It's up there. It's up there. It's hard to pick just one. I mean, I like Black Sabbath. I never got to see Black Sabbath. That's one band I never got to see. I saw Pantera. I've met Dime and Vinny both. I've got pictures with them. But man, I would have loved to have seen Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did. I did have a Sabbath phase.
My 17th birthday, we went to Metallica though in Vegas. I grew up, in Vegas, and my 17th birthday was spent at Metallica with Jerry Cantrell opened up for him too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a fun show. Metallica is definitely up there. I kind of, my love for Metallica kind of slipped away, around the Newstead era. I was a big Cliff Burton fan. I thought what he brought to the band was just irreplaceable. But I think they really dropped the ball on And Justice with the production. They could have really put some bass on it, and it would have been a nice album.
Yeah.
Right. So, John, you live down here in the Valley. Are you a native? I want to get to know you a little bit, man. How long you been in Phoenix? And tell the folks at home, how long you been a Suns fan?
Oh gosh, my entire life, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Native. Born here in Phoenix. Grew up in LA. Moved there when I was 3. So I do bleed Dodger blue. Because I grew up there during the time when they won the.
All right, that's all the time we have for John Voita. Good night, everybody.
Look at that. Back-to-back champs, baby. Back-to-back champs. But you think about it. Fandom, in my opinion, starts when you're about 6 years old. That's when you really start to gravitate towards sports teams. Whether they're teams that your parents have an affinity for, whether they're local teams, whether you played t-ball and you were on the Tigers, when you were 6, you develop these affinities for teams. And for me, when I was 6 years old, we won the '88 World Series, and I remember the whole Kirk Gibson thing, and I moved back to the Valley in '94, but we didn't have a baseball team for 4 more years here. And so, although the Dodgers struggled during that time, that was kind of the team that I had always loved. And so I appreciated the Diamondbacks along the way. I went to games 2, 6, and 7 of the World Series with my mom in 2001, but I'll always bleed Dodger blue. As far as basketball is concerned, growing up in LA, you'd think I'd be a fan of Showtime Lakers, but I simply wasn't. My dad, I mentioned before, very religious, was very anti-Magic Johnson. He's like, that guy's not a celibate man. He's like, so my first love in basketball was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. My dad said, hey, watch this guy. He's amazing. I've never seen anything like him. Again, this is 1988 time frame. And so I would watch the Bulls and Michael Jordan whenever they were on. But I was also a Phoenix Suns fan because it was one of those things that I had when we were out on the playgrounds and everybody was doing the Showtime shit. I was somebody who was like, yeah, I was born in Phoenix. I was proud to be born in Phoenix. And so you got to remember back in those days, those Suns teams were still pretty good. 88, 89, 90, 91. Before Charles Barkley showed up, they were winning 55 games a year. So they were on TV. People knew they existed. They could just never get over the hump. And so I was always a Suns fan. Moved back here in '94, like I said. Elliot Perry, the socks, everyone was rocking their socks in middle school like him. Thunder, Dan Marley, what have you. And again, great teams along the way. Jordan had retired. So once Jordan retired, I was full-fledged a Suns fan. He came back. It was cool. But I was, by that time, I was hooked to the misery that was being a Suns fan, because in the 2 years that Jordan was gone, 94, 95, the Suns both lost in Game 7s to the Houston Rockets in, emotionally scarring fashion. And from there, I was just, this is my team for better or for worse. And it's been that way ever since. And, we've had some great, amazing teams along the way, the 7 seconds or less era. We went through a decade of just roaming the desert, trying to find relevance until Devin Booker kind of came along and at least gave us something to root for. Obviously, the finals run in 2021, but yeah, I mean, I've kind of pride myself on being a historian as it pertains to the Phoenix Suns. I eat it up. Obviously, I write about them all the time on Bright Side of the Sun. We podcast about them. After every single Phoenix Suns game, my co-host and myself, Matthew Lissy and myself, we go live on YouTube, and then we scrape the audio, we release it. So, I mean, and we've been doing that since 2019. So, I mean, we've been plugged into the Suns for quite some time, and we came along at a great time. Right when they were at the back end of being shit, then they were a championship level team, and then they went into just some of the darkest timelines, in my opinion, with the Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal era. And now here we are, just kind of picking up the pieces and paying the penance for the misfortunes and the bad decisions that Matt Ishbia ultimately made when he first took over as the owner.
You and your co-host do a lot of work every freaking game. You have a show. That's freaking amazing. That's how dedicated you are. And when it comes to being a historian, I gotta give it to you. Like, my name's the Almanac. I know numbers, but you freaking know numbers. I love it. I love being educated and learning. Even if you think you know it all, it's always more to learn.
100%.
Always soaking in like a sponge. And I love that aspect of just being a nerd about sports. So,
well, and the history's so vast. I mean, I found out something the other day that I didn't know. It's like the Phoenix Suns drafted George Gervin in 1974 in the third round. I never knew that. And then he's like, no, I'm staying in the ABA with the Spurs. 2 years later, the ABA gets absorbed into the NBA. Gervin's over there. And it's like, we could have used him on the 1976 team to win a championship. It's like you learn something at every turn. And that's the beauty of going back and just, when you get bored, just, looking at some stuff, going down those rabbit holes and seeing what you might find.
did you ever go to the Forum as a kid?
Yeah. It wasn't the Forum. It was the Madhouse on McDowell.
Okay. I was talking about back in L.A.
Oh, no. My first game was out here after we moved back. I was a poor kid. We weren't going to Lakers games.
So your first game was at the Madhouse?
Yeah, Madhouse in McDowell in, when was that? It was 90. It was 1990. Coming out here for Thanksgiving one year. And going there with my family and seeing them. And it was just, that place, when you're a little kid, that place seems so big. When you go there now, it's on the fairgrounds, it's like a dilapidated piece of shit. And you're like, wow, this place was like a cathedral when I was a kid.
Right. My first game was against Showtime Lakers, April of '89. I want to say March of '89 at the Madhouse. So longtime fan. Snoop's been there. Love that place when you're a kid. And you're right. That place was like a cathedral when you're a kid. And like when you go back to when you do any fair events or do anything there, like, the heck happens? Oh yeah, it's like 70 years old now.
Oh, I know. It's funny because I work at a building that's high enough to where if I look out my window, I can see the Coliseum, and it's just like, wow, man. It's crazy. It's nostalgic to think about all of the history that happened, because up until '92, that team played in the same place, had the same jerseys, just two colorways. And then after Barkley came to town, everything changed, and we've had 75 different jerseys since then. And, everything is just recycled crap now. But, I still think that they should go back to the old Wild West font.
Yeah.
I would love that, man. Starburst or Sunburst, I get it. No, go back to the old Wild West, man.
I love it too.
Iconic.
Yeah. I was a ball boy for the Suns, and that's
Really?
the eras that I grew up in. You mentioned the '95 Suns. I was there for that heartbreak, when they lost to the Rockets, and those were some special times back then. I remember my first games at the Coliseum as well. What was really cool about the Coliseum, I remember, is that you had easy access to get down like near the tunnels to like hang out outside the locker rooms when the players would come out. You could just get the high five or whatever. I had some really cool photos. I have to see if I could find them. But from, probably like 1990,
That's dope.
Yeah, Barkley changed everything in the Valley. I remember that day like the back of my hand. June 17th, 1980. I remember that. That day changed my freaking life. Barkley's my favorite player of all time. And he changed everything here. The culture, everything. Like, it was amazing. And you're right. We should go back to some of the throwbacks. The throwbacks are freaking gangster, in my opinion. I love that font they have on it. I just love that jersey. Both the purple and the white.
And the front and the back, because like the jersey you were just holding up, the old KJ jersey, the Wild West font is on the back too. His name is in that font. And I absolutely love those. I'm not the biggest Barkley guy.
Okay.
Not the biggest Barkley guy, because Okay, so remember, I moved back here in like January 90, I think it was 95, January 95, right? And so this is the last year and a half of Barkley. And if you remember, and a lot of people put this out of their memory, Barkley was a whiny son of a bitch at the end of his career with the Suns. Will I retire? Won't I retire? I'm tired. I'm injured. And he had been in the league at that point for like 10 years. And back then, 10 years was like 20 years. Jordan had opted out to go play baseball and golf. And so ultimately, Barkley was holding the Phoenix Suns fan base hostage for the longest time. And finally, we ended up just trading him to Houston to get a bunch of stuff back. But I never liked that, and again, that was my up close. I watched Barkley from afar growing up as a kid. I saw the impact. I appreciated the impact. I love what he did. He did change the culture. He changed everything about Phoenix. Phoenix became a city when he came here. It was a town before then. I understand that. I respect that. But I never liked how he exited his tenure in Phoenix. And I'll give him credit. He still lives here locally off of Gainey Ranch. You can run into him if you're over in South Scottsdale anytime. He talks up Phoenix on all the broadcasts, so he does pay his respects and his dues to Phoenix, and I'll always appreciate him for that and what he did. But I remember just as a fan of the team, that's the last thing we needed was this emotional tug of war after the emotional distraught that we went through for 4 consecutive postseasons when he was here.
No, you're right. He definitely was griping more, and sharing more of the dysfunction that was going on inside of his head. He missed a few more games than usual. Yeah, you're right. And we got chunk change for him. Right? Chucky Brown, Sam Cassell, Robert Ory. A couple of draft picks, and then I don't even know who we got for those draft picks. Thinking about it off the top of my head, some more research for me to do. I should know this, but yeah, he changed the culture for sure. Now Snoop was a ball boy for the Suns for a couple years, right? So one of his idols was Connie Hawkins, and who was the other father figure to you, Snoop?
Neil Walk.
The hairy Neil Walk?
The hairy Neil Walk.
That dude was the fucking Sasquatch.
He was.
Yeah, he was. But they were both sweethearts. Neil and Connie both. They were like father figures to me. That's how I became a ball boy, was through them. And if not for them, I never would have gotten into the NBA. It was such a fun experience, that 94-95 season. The All-Star game was there that year. And I was, full disclosure, I was a Miami Heat fan back then.
They existed?
Yeah, that's true. My favorite player was Glenn Rice.
Nice.
And so, I became a ball boy for the Suns, and then that year at the All-Star game, Glenn Rice won the three-point contest. So it was it was really a special season for me in particular, and also Harold Miner from the Miami Heat.
I was just about to say,
won the dunk contest.
Do you remember Baby Jordan, Harold Miner out of USC?
Well, what's funny is, you just mentioned George Gervin, and I remember meeting George Gervin that weekend, and he was so cool. Just talking to him that weekend while we stood on the there used to be the arena's a little different now, but there used to be the practice court down below. You could look through glass, and it was down below. And I remember standing there with George Gervin, and he was asking me if I would go down to the court and show him how to finger roll. And I was like, I can't. I got to guard these trophies right now, because that was my job. I had to guard the trophies for Glenn Rice and Harold Miner.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience,
100.
But so I have love for the Suns and the Heat. They're my teams.
Gotta have sun to create heat. Let's go. So your favorite player is the Matrix, right, Darth? Right, of all time. So my favorite, I'm sorry, I have to show it. It's Chuck.
That's awesome, though.
So I showed this all the
that's not a bad answer, if you're sitting there and you said Chucky Brown, I'd be like, hey man, we got issues, but dude, that's sick.
Sick. I played him one-on-one when I was younger. He was awesome.
Who won?
He did. 1-0. Playing each other's shoes at Bill Westfall's basketball camp back in the day.
Listen. I'm beating this guy. Chuck is definitely beating him. Okay.
Funny. You're funny. So the Matrix is one of my favorite players ever. That's your favorite player, correct, John?
It was until Devin Booker.
Okay.
It was. After Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns won that 64 games, and when they won the 63rd game, which was the all-time franchise mark back in 2022, and he gave his jersey to Al McCoy, I was like, this guy gets it. Like, I love Sean Marion. I love what he did on the court, but Devin Booker is just the complete and consummate Phoenix Sun. And so he has replaced Sean. Yeah, God, dude, I met the first time I met him was his last game ever broadcasting, Game 6 against the Denver Nuggets a few years back. And I was in the crowd that night, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go say hi to Al. And I had my picture taken with him, man. God bless Al McCoy. But once Devin Booker did that, he became numero uno in my book. But Sean Marion's definitely close second. And then my favorite as a kid was KJ. I fucking loved KJ, man.
Oh,
How
yeah.
could you not, dude.
Not. Right,
Dude.
right. We all love him. Snoop loves him. I love him. He's part of my Mount Rushmore.
Mhm.
Who's your fourth on the Mount Rushmore of Phoenix Suns? Since we
Well, it's got to be Steve Nash. I mean, 2 MVPs, I think we just covered pretty much 4 different eras, but 2 MVPs. So, in fact, I wrote a book. It's called The Phoenix Suns All-Time Pyramid, and you can get it on Amazon. And I take the Phoenix Suns franchise, and I go, okay, let's break these into 6 tiers. Tier 1 is the face of the franchise. Tier 2's got 2 players. Tier 3 has 3, 4 has 4, so on and so forth. And not to spoil the book, but Steve Nash sits atop the pyramid. Booker and Barkley are number 2. And then you go into the third pyramid, and that's where it really starts. Personal bias starts to really play a part in it. Players that you love, players that you didn't. Obviously, Sean Marion makes it into the tier 3 for me. But yeah, I mean, it's if you're putting your Mount Rushmore together, for me, it's Marion, it's Nash, it's got to be Devin Booker, and then of course KJ. But that's my personal one. That's not the franchise one. That's my personal one.
personal. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Snoop, tell John yours.
Putting me on the spot. I didn't know we were gonna do this tonight either. Shit. I mean, I gotta go. I get 5. I put Connie and Neil together. Okay, that's like one pick for me because I can't really differentiate out of the 2 of them. They have to go together for me personally. So that's one pick. I guess I gotta go Barkley. KJ and Book.
Yeah, we're all right there together, pretty much.
Sean Marion is a special one too. His years in Las Vegas. I lived out there.
Oh yeah.
And I was friends with his roommate for many years, who unfortunately passed away just a couple years ago. Shout out to Byron. But yeah, so I mean, Marion is a special player too in my book. But if that's my Mount Rushmore, that's those are the 5 I get.
We're pretty much on the same page. Barkley, Booker, KJ, and every other week could be different on this last answer, but it's either Nash or Marion. Right now, I'll put Matrix. That's what I've been on. Matrix was one of the he didn't get nationally the props he deserved. He should have been an all-defensive NBA player. Pogo stick, almost second in every category that he's in Suns history. The guy was awesome. Could guard anybody on the court. Guard Tony Parker in the first quarter, guard Ginobili in the second, third, and guard Duncan in the fourth. Come on now. That dude is a freak.
It's interesting when you talk to people who reference that era, everyone agrees on Nash, and then you really learn about the person and what they prefer when it comes to basketball when you ask them who the number 2 best player on that team was, because a lot of people, I think it was Marion. A lot of people say it was Stoudemire, and they like the aggressiveness. And because, again, you got to think about when you talk about the history of the Phoenix Suns franchise, we are a historically small team, right? I'll ask you a question. I'm going to put you guys on the spot right here. Who leads in Phoenix Suns history? Who has the most rebounds per game in a season? And it's I think it's 12.1, something like that.
Tyson Chandler.
No. Good guess, though. He's like the biggest guy, one of the biggest guys to ever play for us.
Top of my head. Barkley, him. Go ahead. Tell us. Educate us, brother.
So Barkley's in the top 10 a ton, but it's Paul Silas, 1972.
Oh, okay.
Ayton has the second best season with 11.1 or something. So we are historically just a small franchise. We are a franchise that is built on the backs of guard play. Booker, Nash, KJ, Jason Kidd, Hornacek, Westfall, Van Arsdale. I mean, just all down
Dennis
the line.
Johnson.
Yeah, everybody with a ton of guards. CP3. We can go on and on.
On and on.
So we don't have a big history of effective big men. And that's why some people will go back and they'll instantly go, it's got to be Stat, man. Because what we saw from him in the time frame in which he played was that aggressiveness that hasn't been replicated in Phoenix. Like, if you could take Stat's drive and put in what Ayton's body was, I mean, that team would have turned out a lot different. We might not have needed to trade for Kevin Durant because we had Ayton being productive, but he was.
We
late.
didn't need to trade for Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I would have much rather kept Bridges, we were a better team before Durant.
Well, that's the key. We were a team.
Team. John, were you heartbroken when that news came out at 11:31 that night?
My heart was beating so fast. We instantly went live, did a podcast. It was me, it was myself, it was Suns Geek, who's another Phoenix Suns content creator, and we were just working it out and just going, what just happened? And you were excited because you were getting Kevin Durant, and that meant something. We were making a move, and it was nice to be a team that was finally on the cutting edge of making a move. But you also knew that you were sacrificing your culture, and you felt it was a very reactive move. And it's funny because the secular nature of which the NBA is now. You look at what wins right now. It seems that are
teams.
Yeah, that are teams, and they're young, and they have control of their assets. And the Suns completely, in a 6-month period, well, more like a 4-month period, completely just blew up all of their assets, tried to go star chasing, and it's something we're going to be paying the penance for the next 4 seasons. And it's funny because a lot of people are sitting there and, it's the off season, and everyone's like, oh man, we should get Giannis, we should get this, we should get that. It's like, no man, we should do nothing. We should just play our hand as it lies, try to build a culture of competitiveness and continuity, and see where we are 4 years from now. And I know it's not exciting and nobody wants to hear that, but that's the reality of the situation when the bill comes due. And it started when we acquired Kevin Durant. We blew up what was a team. And now we're watching Mikal Bridges go on, and play in the NBA Finals, and I can't wait to watch him in the Finals. Go Bridges, go Knicks, man, because I will root for him. I'll even root for Landry Shamet, goddammit.
Right? Would you
listen, like I said, I'm a part-time Heat fan, but I'm still pulling for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I've called it for the last 2 years in a row. I think I said that.
Yeah, Knicks. A couple months ago on the podcast, he's like, Knicks in the finals are going to win it. So great call, Stu.
Hope they win
I hope they do too. And hey, is that the worst Suns trade in history? That was a question I wanted to ask you. Mine is the Shaq for Marion.
Why?
We were first place in the – well, it's one of them. I wouldn't say it's the worst. It's one of them. And we were first place in the NBA. We had the best team in the league, and Shaq was not still in his prime. He just wasn't. And that was Kerr's big mistake. We ended up losing the first round of the playoffs that year, I believe, correct? Yeah, we did. 4 games to 1 to the Spurs. Yep. We had the best record in the league. I did not like that trade. I think that's –
And what that was is the – I talked about Charles Barkley and how he wanted out, and that's one of the things that left a sour taste in my mouth. Sean Marion did the same thing. Sean Marion wanted out. Sean Marion wanted to go someplace and be the guy, or be compensated like the guy, or recognized as the guy, and it wasn't happening as the third banana in Phoenix. So he was part of that situation, unfortunately, and I think that the Suns, in hindsight, once again, didn't make the right move, and They always were trying to get big, but they were getting big in the wrong ways, right? Acquiring Shaq when he was too old, acquiring Kurt Thomas to try to combat Tim Duncan in the 2005/6 season, when we should have just kept Joe Johnson, kept Quentin Richardson, run it back one more year, see if our pace could beat him, and see if Mike D'Antoni could play like 9 guys instead of just 7. It's like that's what. Again, there's so many opportunities if you go through the history of the Phoenix Suns, where, man, if they just stayed the course a little bit longer, great things potentially could have happened. And so what you mentioned, that's one of those watershed moments. That's one of those sliding door moments. The KD trade, I'm not even mad at the KD trade. I'm mad at the Beal trade. The Beal trade was the sliding door moment, in my opinion, because I know it was a small sample size, but with Chris Paul, with DeAndre Ayton, with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, that team was 8-0 in the regular season when all of them played. And then we took the eventual champions, the Denver Nuggets, to 6 games, and we were hurt, man. I mean, Ayton was hurt, CP3 was hurt. We should have given that a full season just to see what it was, but instead, that summer, Josh Bartlestein, whose dad is Mark Bartlestein, who is Bradley Beal's agent, gets Bradley Beal to Phoenix. We give up 4 first-round pick swaps, 5 second-round picks, 2 players, for a player who is Devin Booker of the East, who's duplicative of your best player, right? And is also somebody who has a no trade clause. And again, we'll be paying what, $23.2 million in dead cap space, $19 million of that it being Bradley Beal's contract until 2030. That was the trade where we, and everyone will say, hey, Kevin Durant, that trade kind of pushed us over the hill, and then Bradley Beal was the next step, and the snowball going and becoming larger and larger. I still think we could have been successful if we hadn't traded for Bradley Beal, if we had $53 million worth of other assets not named Bradley Beal to fortify the lineups around Durant and Booker. Now, you can go the other way. You could say, hey, Durant's attitude, what have you. I get it. We're all just pondering the great, enormous abyss that is called what if. But in the same breath, that was one of the worst trades in my opinion. I'm also not a fan of trading Dennis Johnson in 1983 for handing him to the Boston Celtics so they can go and win the championship. Yeah, for Rick Roby,
Yeah, who? And DJ was an all-star for us.
He was.
Dude, he was badass, dude. He was a great. He played point a little bit with us with Walt, Sweet D. Yeah, that was exciting times to watch. Good points with the Nuggets before we made that move. I think we were the only team that pushed them to 6 games that year. They won the championship, I believe.
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
We're the only one to beat them twice. They swept the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. They swept Minnesota in the first round, and they had their way with the Heat.
Hey, that's fine with me. Do you know who beat the Knicks 2-0 this year?
The Hawks by a grand total of 2 points.
I don't know if that's true. I'd have to look it up.
Twice.
But the Suns beat the Knicks 2-0 this year.
Oh, I thought you meant the Knicks in the playoffs right now. Yeah, we're gonna hang that banner. It's gonna be right next to our 2001 NBA Western Conference champions. It's beat the Knicks twice in 2025-26.
There you go. Without Beal.
I would say one of the better trades, the KJ trade's one of the better trades.
Oh, yeah.
We got Marley out of it. And Cotton going up to the microphone at the podium. Y'all gonna regret booing this man. Like, that was a legendary moment. He was a staple for us here in the Valley.
I think that one and reacquiring Nash are the two that just changed the trajectory of the franchise. And brought us to prominence after periods, because you got to think, like, the KJ trade was so big because we were coming out of the Cocaine Suns era, right?
100%. The shaving points cocaine era.
Yeah,
That's right.
That team was just decimated, and they needed a reason to completely reset, and they did. And thankfully they got the right guys that developed them appropriately, and we turned into a powerhouse pretty much in a season. And that's the beauty of the NBA. It can happen that quick. So that's what we're hoping for in Phoenix, although we know it's not going to happen with San Antonio and Oklahoma City.
Right, and we almost had Kobe instead of Nash. Almost.
That's fine. I think Kobe Bryant's the most overrated player in the history of the NBA.
Interesting.
Preach.
Okay. Preach it. Let's hear it. Well,
I mean, think about it. So, one, I get the emotional connection that Lakers fans have to Kobe. So I'm not devaluing their connection to a player that they loved. But if you think about it, Kobe's first 3 titles, Shaq is primarily responsible. He went through a barren wasteland where he was a good team or a good stats bad team guy. Essentially, they would make the playoffs, but it's because he would take 40 shot attempts a night. It's what it felt like. When Pau Gasol finally was permitted to come there, that's when they won again at the back end. 08, 09, 2010 era. But I just think that you hear Lakers fans and they talk about how great Kobe is. I think he's not even the 5th. He's the 5th best Laker. He's not the 3rd best player in the league. He's not.
That's what I always say too, and I get so much flack for it. Like, he's not even the top 5 Laker.
I know.
Yes.
Think about it. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I wouldn't put LeBron on this list, but I'd put Magic. I'd put Jerry West.
Yep.
That 3 right there. Shaq,
Elgin Baylor,
Oscar Robinson, Will Chamberlain. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like Kobe, great basketball player. I always respect him for who he was as a basketball player. But I love what Raja Bell did to him back in 2006, man. He did it on behalf for us. Somebody needed to hit him.
John, so I'm a service advisor in the car wash industry down here. So he was one of my customers. I worked at 24th Street in Highland. All the Suns players went in there that year. So the Danny's car wash. But Raja came in the very next morning, and he always asked for me. I was the guy that serviced him, wrote him up, and he gets out of the car, and I was like, Raja, I got a shirt for you. Let me go get it. And I had a shirt that said, Kobe is my bitch. He goes, give me that motherfucker. I'm putting that shit on. Like, we made shirts just for the Suns players. So, yeah, that was awesome when he straight up, WWE'd him. That was awesome. But to your point, I could definitely see that because there's tons of great Lakers, totally, like legendary players. Maybe I'm a little bit more towards the Kobe being greater because I saw him live so many damn times and he killed us. Like,
I'm gonna put Mikan in the category too. Fuck it, George Mikan's in.
Wow, you're going all the way
back. Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll go all the way back.
Just because he killed us. The Grant Hill game when he went off and he was like this every shot. Like,
but you know what? We killed him too. That's
the game he quit.
Yeah, game 7.
Yeah, I was at that game. Totally. So yeah, he quit on the team.
Now,
totally.
quick side note: I used to buy my Metallica CDs at the Best Buy over on 24th and Camelback, so I know the area very well.
Okay. Yeah, we had Marion came in. He owns all white cars. He can't say anything plural. Like, it was awesome. The Phoenix Sun, like, he never said Suns, like Karl Malone-esque. I thought it was funny. But Mari came in. His mom was such a gangster, like gold teeth and jewelry, and like, it was awesome. Not to change. Actually, I'll go back on it. You mentioned Suns with big men in their history.
Yeah.
Opposite with guards, like you were saying. Like, I'll put our point guards against almost any team's franchise point guards they've ever had. Like, we've had a lot of great. We've had a lot of great point guards. Even that one team with Nash, Kidd, Sox, and KJ. My goodness.
Isn't that always our problem, though? We always have too many guards and not enough bigs. Even right now,
we could sure use one today.
That's what I'm saying.
A standout.
That's what I'm saying. We got a bunch of undersized combo guards and then like 2 Devin Bookers. It's like, come on, man. Like, I want some balance, please. But it's true. It's true.
What would you like to see in the way of moves this offseason? Do you think that like the point guard is the thing that needs to be addressed the most, or the big situation? And I guess along with that big situation, do we move on from Williams and Malik? Like, what do we do with Malik? Go.
So I'll start here. There's not going to be a lot of movement, nor do I think there should. Okay. Because when you say, well, let's go get a point guard, what is a point guard anymore?
Right.
Okay. And once you answer that question, and in a typical sense, a point guard is a facilitator, a distributor facilitator, right? Now, how many of those exist in the NBA?
They're a dying breed, man.
Exactly. Tyrese Halliburton, LaMelo sometimes, you could say Jamal Murray, but even if you use that definition, there's not any available. That's the challenge. There's no one to put. The only guy who's somewhat close, and even he's not a pure facilitator, is like a DeJounte Murray from the Pelicans. He's more of a rebounding, tough physical, can shoot, not a great facilitator, but can facilitate. So the archetype simply doesn't exist anymore in the NBA. It's few and far between. Look at the teams that are left, okay? Jalen Brunson, you define him as a point guard, but is he a point guard?
He's a playmaking guard.
Yeah, he's a small shooting guard, a highly effective small shooting guard. SGA, he's more of a point guard than their point guard because he's not technically their point guard. And then you have De'Aaron Fox, who, again, combo guard. Not a great facilitator. The key to be successful is to have someone who's like a Tyus Jones archetype, right? Somebody who's not necessarily a facilitator, but somebody who can just take care of the ball.
Yes.
But obviously have a better skill set than what Tyus Jones brought to us when he played for the Suns. So the way that I look at it relative to this roster, where they're at going into next season, Matt Ishbia said it, Brian Gregory's fortified it. That could be all semantics, we know. But I honestly think that the direction the Suns are going to go in this year is, you know what? Last season, we were hit with injuries left and right. Jalen Green played 32 games. Mark Williams played 60. Dylan Brooks played 50-something. Devin Booker played 64. We didn't get to see this team fully healthy for a long period of time, and we still won 45 games.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your baseline, right? And so from that, you can sit there and go, okay, we don't have enough data on what this team is together to understand what they could be. And considering we have the majority of the guys under contract going into next season, let's run the foundation of this back to see what we have, one, and to develop continuity. Because I think that that's one of the most important things that we've been missing in Phoenix for quite some time is continuity. You look at the Knicks. The Knicks are in the finals because those guys have been together 2 to 3 years, right? Same thing with OKC. The Spurs are young. You know, they've got a rookie, a sophomore, and a junior doing it all. But the core pieces around them and organizationally, they have a solid foundation and identity. So the Suns are kind of leaning into that going into next season. They're trying to be smart relative to the cap, because if you can go through another season, you're under the luxury cap, you avoid the repeater tax. That does a lot for your financials moving forward. And so the ultimate question, you know, Snoop said, hey, what do you do with Mark Williams? I think if the price, he's a restricted free agent. He's a qualifying offer of $9.6 million. So you let him test the market. And if the market says, if everybody's out there like, nah, man, we're not paying this guy, you know, then you go, heck, hey, 9.6. Now, God, who is it from? Bobby Marks from ESPN says that he thinks that he's going to get anywhere between 14 and 16 million, you know, with an average annual value of 14 million a year. I think it's a little overpaying for Mark Williams considering the health issue, but if you get him for 14 million, you get him for 14 million. That's not a bad deal.
It's not bad at all.
Exactly. And what you've done now is you've developed a buffer for your young center, Kamon Malawach, who turns 20 this season. You get Mark Williams for 3 years, knowing that, you know what, if Malawach pops this next season, we can trade Mark Williams at any point. If he doesn't pop, we at least have some stability at the center position, and we're not cutting our own kneecaps off in an effort to try to rush development. So I think the Suns are going to, you know, for a team that since Matt Ishbia has taken over has been going 88 miles an hour down the fucking track. See, I got you. I think they're going to pull back and they're going to be conservative. And I know that some people have a challenge with that because we're used to the run and gun and all these different transactions, but I just don't think that the Suns are in a place where that's the right way to move right now. They need to start thinking long-term instead of just short-term.
You make great points. Continuity is important. And I think in-house is the key to our growth, our young core of getting those guys better. And we've discussed it on the show. That's very important. And a lot of Suns fans don't like to hear it. But what we have in-house can take us far. And we just need more time together. What we have, 150 games missed. Players injured this year, less than a handful of us together. 7th best record in the West. Smash the over on the win total if you followed the show. I know you're a betting man, brother, but Vegas had it wrong. 30 games, my ass. Suck it. Straight up. Like we're on the cusp of doing good things. We're leading. Yes, we don't have a lot. We're handcuffed with things, but it's in-house. Continuity. I think personally, Williams to me at a good price is okay, but that foot bothers me.
Oh yeah,
it does. So he did not pass his physical when traded to the Lakers the year before for a reason. You know, he had his.
I have a theory on that though.
Okay, go ahead.
So think about when that happened. That happened right after Luka was acquired by the Lakers, and the Mavericks fan base had a meltdown. Okay, rightfully so. So shortly thereafter, if you remember early in that season, Dalton Connect was lighting it up for the Lakers. He was in fuego, and he was in the trade that went out for Mark Williams. And then all of a sudden, the Lakers rescind the trade because of a physical. But in those 2 days between the acquisition and them saying, you know what, we're rescinding the trade, if you were on social media, Lakers fans were pissed. They're like, this guy's injury prone, and you're giving up Dalton Connect. He could be our next Steph Curry. I mean, they were going nuts. And so I feel like part of that was Pelinka pulling back and just being like, oh, yeah, because he went out and played. The night it was rescinded, he went out and played for Charlotte and scored and had a double-double.
That same night. Yeah,
so,
and when he got here, there was no questions asked about his physical. So it's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up.
That goes on Snoop's conspiracy theory podcast.
No. I mean, we talk about this stuff on here too a little bit, you know, because I push back on it sometimes. You know, like I question a lot of things that happen. You know, especially should betting even be legal? I'll be the first person to say I don't know.
I mean, why does Kalshi exist? So the rich can manipulate markets? You know, it's what it is. It's like, will Trump attend game 1 of the finals? You can put a bunch of money on it. He's like, hey, I'm going to put a bunch of money, then I'm going to go. I just made a bunch of money. Like, how is that fucking legal?
Dude, it's so funny that you just mentioned that. Like, I saw a stupid headline before we went live here and started recording, and it said something like Trump missed his kid's wedding this weekend, but he's going to go to a game of the finals, a Knicks game in the final. Like, who gives a fuck, first of all? And second of all, why are you connecting these two things together? So maybe he had to miss the wedding for a reason or whatever, but he is able to go to the game. Let him go to a fucking game. Who cares?
Yeah, that's just because people are too online these days. I think we all know that.
Right.
Yeah.
John, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Williams' foot, it was opposite from earlier in season. It's the one that he had problems with. Does that worry you at all?
Of course it worries me, and I think that's what brings the price tag down. You know, there will always be health issues with him. 60 games, what we got out of him, that's 16 more than
That's career high.
Yeah, it's a career high by 16 games. And so you factor that into the price ultimately that you're going to pay for him. And that's what's going to hurt him on the open market and ultimately benefit the Phoenix Suns. And again, I like having him around to assist in the development of Kamon Malawach because I am huge on, we talked about continuity. The other way that this team gets better, the only way that this team starts competing at a high level and, wins around maybe 2 in the postseason is if those young players are developed properly and appropriately and are effective when the time comes. Because I think that Rasheer Fleming, who I absolutely love right now, dude, I am a huge Rasheer Fleming fan. But between him and Kamon Malawach, those are going to be the 2 highest picks that we have for quite some time here in Phoenix. We have the 47th overall pick this year. We have a 2027 first-round pick next year, but it's at the back end of the draft because it's been, so heavily swapped over and over. So we don't have a lot of young youth coming in. That's why Oso Ighodaro, his growth this year is paramount. Ryan Dunn, him kind of flatlining this year is unfortunate. And then these 2 rookies, those are guys that this team's going to have to really rely on when you take into account all the cap gymnastics that the team has to navigate if they want to be successful. So I like Williams. Even I get the injury, man, and that's why you're going to hopefully get a proper price for guys paid. Yeah,
I totally agree. So the young core of my eyes, the guys you mentioned, and Kobe Bryant. He could be the best shooter in our organization that nobody's ever heard of, nationally. But if we can get just 3 of those guys to improve 15-20%, that'd be huge. That would be freaking huge. You're totally right. I think it's the secret of our offseason and our summer. Do you want to see opening night with a Brooks, Green, Booker, Malawach, Fleming starting lineup?
Yes, I would absolutely love that. Now, I will, because we got to get rid of the 3-guard lineups. We got to let them go. Like playing Colin Gillespie, Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Williams, or Malawach, that's got to go. That's what killed us. We were too small, and Colin Gillespie, that's another guy you're going to have to navigate this offseason. He's an unrestricted free agent, probably going to get probably about $12 million a year is probably what he'll go for, which again is good price value paid because he's going to be a backup. And the goal is when you mentioned Kobe Bryant, and I'm glad you brought him up, he's somebody who could, we hope, evolve into what Grayson Allen is, right? A guy who comes off the bench, who can go on a heater from beyond the arc, but has the ability and the physicality to play some defense and to drive the ball. And that's what I'd like to see a little bit more from Kobe. I watched him a lot in the G League this year. He was settling for jump shots. I don't think the G League team was really run well this year. They just didn't have the assets for it. And that's what I think ultimately is going to happen with the 47th pick is we're going to draft a point guard, put him down to the G League on a 2-way contract, and have him work on facilitation and setting up players who, like Kobe Bryant, if he's down there, Fleming, Malawach, if they're down there, to just try to accentuate what they do well. But I think that's kind of the master plan for the Suns is I hope the master plan is get away from those fucking 3-guard lineups, man. It's just not good. It's just not good for the team.
2-part question to what you said. Kobe Bryant, is he going to be on the opening night roster? Opening night, you think, as far as playing? And then 2.
He'll be a 2-way.
Okay. And then 2, are you okay with Goody and Colin being our point guards?
No, because Colin's not a point guard. I'm sorry. Jordan Goodwin. Who'd you say point guards?
Goody and Colin.
Okay, Goody. Yeah, Goody. So Goody's a backup wing, in my opinion. So in a perfect world, if we do a 10-man rotation, right? You got Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Rasheer Fleming, and let's just say Williams to start the season. All right, your backups then become Colin Gillespie, Grayson Allen. Your 3 is Jordan Goodwin. Your 4 is Oso Ighodaro. And then your 5 is Kamon Malawach. So you have playmaking in 2 different spots there, Oso and Colin. You've got your defensive stalwarts in Malawach and Goodwin, and then you got your sharpshooter out there with Grayson Allen. And what all this does, just in this, knowing there's 15 guys, that's 10 guys. What that tells me is Royce O'Neal becomes the guy who becomes somewhat expendable this offseason. If you need to make a transaction, whether it's to get under a luxury tax or to bring back a specific archetype of player that you're seeking, it's Royce O'Neal and his $11 million contract that you're shipping out the door in order to make that happen.
Right.
And even in that case, I don't mind if he's still on the team because injuries will occur. My 10-man lineup gets jumbled the moment somebody gets injured, and Royce O'Neal starts to fill the gaps.
So does that mean that Dunn is expendable then?
Dunn's expendable, but he's not worth anything. So he's just there. You're not going to, he's what, $2.5 million next year? I mean, you can sprinkle him into a trade in an effort, he becomes the seasoning of the trade, the salt and pepper that an opposing franchise go, you know what, we can take a shot on this guy. He's got some physical deliverables. We can make this happen. But you're not trading anything straight up unless you're trading him for a veteran minimum contracted player. So he's just part of the team, and as appropriate, based on injuries, you bring him in.
I like to see him work on his corner threes a lot. That's what I want to see him work on this offseason. Because he kind of, he didn't progress at all this year. He was kind of vanilla.
He was very flat this year. I mean, his three-point percentage was almost a mirror image of the year before. I think it raised by %. His points per game were down. He didn't take the jump that Oso did. Oso, it was a very clear jump. And now, granted, Jordan Ott created a runway for Oso Ighodaro to be successful, but he walked through the door, and most of the time, he provided quality minutes. He was taken advantage of. Every player in the NBA, Jalen Brunson's taken advantage of. SGA's taken advantage of, But Oso Ighodaro was taken advantage of at times, but he provided consistent quality minutes. Whereas Ryan Dunn, it was just so sporadic. He wasn't given the same, capacity, the same consistency to try to showcase what he could do, but in the same capacity, he didn't earn that opportunity either. And therein lies the challenge with who and what Ryan Dunn is. In my opinion, and I said this when we drafted him on draft night, I go, you know what? The ceiling of this guy, in my opinion, is a rotational player. He's not a starter in the NBA. The goal for him should be an effective rotational player, and he fell out of that this past season.
Definitely did. His inconsistent minutes, not playing some games, new coaching staff, new system, young man going through things. I hope he takes his good step forward this year.
I do too.
Man, this guy he can play good D. I see him as a rotational, solid defensive contributor if he gets to that point, because he has the talent and the tools to do that.
My problem with Dunn, real quick, my problem with Dunn is from a point of attack in that scenario, he always falls for the first step, man. It's my one complaint with him. You try have him try to guard the point of attack, and it's a quick player like a De'Aaron Fox or Colin Sexton cooked him when we played against the Bulls. There's certain guys who just they do the jab step, the quick move, and he falls for it every time. And that's where I need to see him improve, because everyone talks about how great of a defender Dunn is, and he's a good weak side defender, but he's not a good point of attack defender, and he needs to excel in that if he wants to have a place in the Suns rotation.
A little bit of rapid fire. Not who we give up or how much money. I just want your reaction to certain players that could be possibly in the mix, hypothetical or not. Just quick answers.
Okay.
Drew Holiday.
No.
Okay. De'Aaron Fox.
No, too expensive.
Bones Highland.
No, too streaky.
Kobe White.
Yes, because he cut his hair. No, we don't need him on the team, so no.
Okay. Colin Sexton.
I like Colin Sexton. I wouldn't mind that.
Me too. Aaron Gordon.
No, his best days are behind him, and he's a product of Jokic's greatness.
Great. Ja Morant.
Fuck no. Nah,
Fuck
Morant.
yeah. Fucking love
Thank
your
you.
answers. Thank you. Fucking straight up. Giannis, Greek freak.
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. A little bit of rapid fire, but
Yeah.
hey,
I was prepared.
Why do you say no to Giannis, though?
The problem with Giannis is twofold. One, it's threefold. One, it would happen. We don't have the assets. The Milwaukee Bucks are literally the Phoenix Suns of the East. They expended all their assets in an effort to get Drew Holiday and to get Damian Lillard. They have a price tag hanging around their neck just like we do in dead cap money when they bought out Damian Lillard. So we don't have the assets they want. They want draft capital.
Can he force his hand and say, that's the only team I want to play for?
Kevin Durant did that, and we gave up 4 first-round picks. And I get that Kevin Durant had 4 years left, and he has an expiring contract, but guess what? He can force his hand all they want. The Bucks are still going to want something back. You know what I mean? They're not just going to give him up for literally pennies on the dollar. Two, when it comes to Giannis, he's a little bit older. Okay, so let's say we do make a trade that gives up what we can. We're going to have to completely and utterly gut our depth in an effort to get him, just to make the money work, right? And when you do that, you're stuck with the same scenario we ran into with the Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal teams, where everybody on your team is a veteran minimum guy, and you're sitting there and you're like, dude, Chimezie Metu, man, I really hope he's good. Ooh, that Yuta Watanabe can shoot. He's on fire from beyond the arc. You know, Yuta the shooter, and you're relying on these, and Tyus Jones and Monte Morris, and the list goes on of veteran minimum guys that you're hoping can excel relative to their contract, but ultimately don't. And the third reason, again, when it comes to Giannis, it's just the fact that he's a little bit older. He has been injury prone. And that type of player, the archetype, is going to break down eventually. I just don't want it to happen on the Phoenix Suns' watch.
That is important to point out. He has missed, I think it's like 80 games in the last 2 seasons or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Close to.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
And so, like, why do we have to pay the bill for that? And the fourth reason, he fucking beat us in the finals. Fuck that guy.
He went alien. He went nuclear, dude.
Yeah,
and
he hit free throws.
Come to find out, whatever he took before game 1, he was not supposed to play.
He wasn't. He had a busted knee against the Hawks. I was hoping we were going to play the Hawks that year. That was going to be miraculous.
Right.
But all of a sudden he was fine. And then again, bad officiating, man. I mean, we have guys just standing there, just getting bowled over. He's creating all the contact, and then he's standing at the line taking free throws. It was just, I don't want that guy on my team, man.
Yeah, we've talked plenty about Scott Foster and some of these officials too.
Yes, especially right now. It's a hot topic.
My dartboard is Tim Donaghy's picture.
I'm not a big fan of Justin Van Dyne and Tony Brothers. I've like
Tony Brothers.
The fact that I know these guys by name is not good.
Right. We never knew names when we were kids about refs. Like, it's an issue now.
There was just Joey Crawford. We only knew Joey Crawford. That was it. That's the only guy I knew.
Tavetta.
Because he was horrible.
Totally. So Suns Jam Session is the name of your podcast. What's your favorite?
I want one of those hats, by the way. I love that hat. I've been looking at it all episode, dude. That hat is sick. Hold on. Let me make it full screen so everybody can see it. That hat's awesome.
That hat is awesome.
There you go. Arizona license plate, Suns Jam Session podcast. Yeah, John Bloom wants one too. I got to get one out to Bloom.
Shout out to Bloomy.
I love Bloom.
Shout out. Love that guy. What's your favorite Suns dunk of all time? Hence the name of your podcast.
Oh, man, that's a great F-bombing question. I mean, I got to go KJ over Olajuwon.
Oh, yes.
But like, so if you ever watch the pod, our intro is literally just a bunch of jams. It's like I could show Suns highlights, but I got the Valley Oop up there.
Oh yeah, you got all the greatest dunks in my opinion. You're missing one or two, I think, but I think you got every one of them.
No, man, I think
you got every one of them.
I got Larry Nance. I got Hocus Pocus is on there. Tom Chambers.
Yes.
I got everything. Yeah,
the KJ over Hot Rod Williams when he stood on his shoulders.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good.
Amari over the Candyman. I do love that one because then it cuts to Marbury and he's just going, God damn. I love that Marbury Amari team, man. The 03 team was amazing. I love that team.
Was Scott Williams?
Yeah, Scott Williams. Yeah, I think Scott Williams was on that team. Yeah.
Know him. Hopefully going to get him on the pod here in the summer. But he's a good guy. But yeah, that team was awesome, man. With Penny, Starberry, Marion, right?
Yeah, made it to the playoffs. We lost to the Spurs because we always did, but we won that.
That Starberry last minute shot, last second shot.
Yeah. I'm going crazy. I remember going crazy on that one.
Try to respect your time because I know we're at the marker. But I want to ask you about how'd you get involved with FanDuel being a sponsor of your podcast? I'm a huge bettor. Hence my name. And how long have you been sports betting?
Well, I mean, was it September 9th, 2021 when it became available in Arizona? That's the day I started.
Date.
Yeah.
All right.
It just so happens to be my little brother's birthday, too. So the Suns Jam Session podcast is a Believe podcast network. It's part of the Believe podcast network. So they've got a ton of different podcasts. Cedric Sabalos comes on the pod every now and then, because he's part of the Believe network. And so they have a partnership with FanDuel. So they're the ones who set it up. And I was like, thank you. I I'm like, me and my friends, we have text threads for days about, we have a time where people come to my office, and we'll sit there and we got like 4 guys in there and everyone's got to contribute a leg, and we go fours,
Yes.
when we place a bet. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the betting. So it was just kind of a marriage made in heaven. But yeah, we joined the Believe Podcast Network a couple years ago. We've been on like 4 different podcast networks in our upcoming on 7 years now. So Believe's the latest one. I'm hoping to stay there.
DJ said, shout out to the Iceman, Mr. Baseline. Can score 20 without a play designed for him. The only Laker jersey I ever owned in my life, by the way. I owned it for one reason, to go to that Suns camp and play a Suns player, because they always picked out the Lakers fan. I took it off and said, let's play. Let's go. Let's go. But that's awesome. FanDuel, I'm a huge bettor. So I used to drive to Nevada weekly to make bets before it was legal here, just for football. So it's just something I love to do, and I had to ask you about it. It's been absolutely honored to have you here and talking to us. Shout out to Snoop, man. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be on social. I've been a diehard sports junkie my whole life, man. He's been telling me for years to do something with it, and it's coming to fruition. So
I feel you. That's literally what I started doing. I was bored one day. I had an off day of work. I started my own little blog. I just started writing, and then my brother-in-law and I, we used to live together, and then me and his sister moved out. We got married, and we're like, dude, we miss talking Suns together. Let's do it in podcast form, and that's back in 2019, and I joined Bright Side of the Suns shortly thereafter, and just again, love the Suns, love talking about them. It's been an amazing experience going through, writing about the team, covering the team, doing podcasts. It becomes a grind sometimes, but I love doing. I'm a sports junkie. Not one of my friends is not surprised that I have a Phoenix Suns podcast. So because I've been talking all my shit for all my years, so it's fun to actually connect with other fans and do it in the manner that we do it, because we are not alone in our misery. That's important.
Huge sports fan, especially Phoenix here, and appreciate your time, everything that you do for the space. Your content's great. Big fan. Keep it up. Keep up the great work, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just also want to say thank you too, John, for taking the time. It's a pleasure getting to know you, man. That's one of my favorite things about this podcast is just getting to know someone and seeing what they're about, And we try to just keep it loose, and just shoot from the hip, and it's just fun having a chat,
Oh, 100%. If I'll get you guys on the Suns Jam Session podcast. If you ever watched it before, man, it's just like we just love shooting the shit,
Dude, I used to see it. I used to see it all the time, and then I hadn't seen it in my feed for so long, and I don't know what happened. If maybe it was like on one of my other Gmail accounts or something, but it doesn't come up in my feed, But these algorithms are so messed up anymore. Like, oh my god, it's a never-ending battle trying to figure it out. These algorithms.
So off season, 9 a.m. on Sundays during the season after games, correct?
Exactly. And if you're somebody who listens to the pod, I always do like midweek audio only podcasts. I do the video thing. Matthew and I will sit down on Sunday mornings, 9 a.m., pull up a cup of coffee. Not for me, but just enjoy what's going on in the Suns fandom. And then during the week, audio side, you'll get something special.
Dude, that's awesome. We would love to come on your show, man.
100%.
Great show. We just love chopping it up. Suns ball. It's about continuity in this space too.
I got to get you on a post game pod, because those are fun, man. Because it's like you're still emotional from the game, and that's when it gets real fun.
He's the one for that, man. He gets the emotions.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're an emotionally reactive podcast over there on Suns Jam.
That's right. I'm sure John's the same. You take his heart out, and there's a bunch of sun scars on it.
Oh God! Do you know how many remotes I've broken? I mean, it's not even fun anymore. God bless Amazon.
So all you people at home, go follow Voita and the NBA Jam Session podcast and all of his work. He does great content for all you Phoenix Suns heads out there. Appreciate your time. Cheers to you, and thank you so very much for coming on. I hope you enjoyed.
Go home and love your family.
Right.
Cheers. Thank you, John. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. How's everybody doing out there in internet land? Welcome back, Haywood. Nice to see you, sir.
That was fun, brother.
Yeah, great chat with Mr. Darth Voita. I want to remind everybody to go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com and check out the merch section. Get your Pick Us In podcast t-shirt. They come in a bunch of different colors too. You got black, you got light blue, you got red. You got options here. You want military green? We got you. Maybe.
And they're very comforting. They're very soft too. Very soft
Yeah.
material.
Yes. Good quality t-shirts right there, boy.
Yeah, and take our word for it. We're out here in Arizona, so we know we need to breathe, and it's very good on the skin and the heat. So,
True that.
dude, that was fun talking to him. That was really fun. Had a blast talking to him. I felt like we could probably talk a lot longer for sure.
Oh, definitely. You know what? Before we get into some Suns, I want to talk former Suns. Mikal Bridges, who is on his way to the finals with the New York Knickerbockers. Mikal Bridges is the first player in NBA history to make two separate final appearances without missing a single game. 709 consecutive games for Bridges without missing any time. How about that?
The Iron Man.
Yes.
Man. He's always Mr. Reliable. He's playing hurt all the time. I mean, to have a player play every game says something about what kind of character and what kind of player he is.
Yeah, dude, I've never been more disappointed trading for Kevin Durant.
Come on. I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Go Knicks. I want them to win. Go Knicks,
Yeah.
dude. For real.
I know I'm pulling for him.
I know, right? 60-70 right now in the third quarter for the Spurs and Thunder. The Spurs are up by 10 with 9 minutes and 35 seconds left. So Spurs are playing. And now it's an 8-point game. So I want the Spurs to win. So what do you got, Snoop? What you got?
That's all I got, player.
All right. So I looked up that trade for Barkley during that. I'll pull it up. Not on the screen here, but I got it right here. I was actually a little bit wrong. So it was Ori, Cassell, Chucky Brown, and Mark Bryant for Barkley and a 99 second round pick. So we didn't get no picks. So chun change. And then we traded Ori, like 20 games in because he threw the towel at Ainge's face, right? But Mark Bryant, remember that guy?
I remember the name. I don't really remember him for any particular reason, but I do remember the name.
Okay. But that's crazy. You talked about Iceman, George Gervin, someone you hung out with at the 95 All-Star game. I got that pulled up, a little Suns history. Shout out to Arizona Sports History on Twitter. They're a great follow. Love these guys. But 5/28, 1974. The Phoenix Suns took John Shoemate out of Notre Dame with the 4th overall pick and then selected Spurs Hall of Famer George Gervin out of Eastern Michigan with the 4th pick in the 3rd round, 40th overall. And he went back to the ABA. Although he was set for the ABA, Colangelo took him to establish his NBA rights. So that's pretty crazy. The Iceman. So more about your, was that like that one period on the practice court you were talking to him? Was only like for a few minutes. What'd you guys talk about besides finger roll? Was it just finger roll?
Well, yeah, and I was guarding the trophies, so like I couldn't really, I had to focus on that. But yeah, it was just like, can you finger roll? And then he was just, jiving and talking and doing what he does. I mean, he was a fascinating guy. So we would just sit there and listen to him, and
Finger roll takes a roll of talent. That was actually like not one of the best shots in my repertoire, but could you finger roll, Snoop?
Absolutely.
Right. But that's pretty crazy. A little Suns history, and yeah. Let's see what else I got. All right. Got some highlights from the Charles Barkley era from the Rockets and Suns playoff matchup in 1994. Charles played with a severe strained groin, yet managed 24 points, 15 rebounds, but Houston became the first team since 1969 to lose the first 2 games of the series at home and win the series, taking the semis to Game 7, 104-94. Phoenix shot 39%, never led after the 2-0. Am I good, Snoop?
Yeah.
All right.
Danny Ainge. Danny, 5 threes in the ball game. Phoenix down 6 at the half. Third quarter, Akeem Olajuwon. Is he this
You
year?
know what? Forget this memory. We're going to pull up something else. Snoop.
Okay.
I hate watching that memory. I fucking hate watching.
Podcast on the flag. Good, because it's probably going to get us flagged. So that's not.
Yeah, that too. So back in 1975, on this date, on May 23rd, the Suns acquired Paul Westphal, 2 seconds, Jimmy Dan Connor, and Butch Fear from the Celtics for Charlie Scott. Jerry Colangelo offered Scott to all 15 other teams in the NBA, and only Boston bit. 1 year later, they play each other in the NBA Finals. Man, Snoop was around. You watched the series. The shot heard around the world.
I'm sorry, sir. I was not alive in 1975.
But yeah, that's crazy. The triple overtime game, right? That series, and then we end up playing another triple overtime game in Chicago. I don't think there's only been a couple in NBA Finals. I think we're a part of them. But
yeah,
triple.
That's two of them for Phoenix.
Totally, for sure. During that Chicago game, it was in Chicago. I think it was Game 3 of the '93 series when Michael had 55, I believe, but he also had like a grip of attempts. And Marley was considered a good defender at the time,
Yeah,
memories,
brother. Jordan, I think, shot the ball over 50 times that game.
I think you're totally right. Cheers, all the people at home. Thank you for tuning in. Cheers to Snoop Von Poop. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Let's see what else I got. What, you got nothing else, Snoop? You all emptied?
Well, maybe. I don't. Did we? This is not Suns related, but did we watch the video of Kobe watching Bam get 83 points?
I think we did, but I can't recall. Let's share it anyway. Why not?
Yeah, it's only a minute long.
What if Kobe stopped Bam's 83-point game?
Oh, hell nah. Not on my watch. Send me down there now.
All right, whatever Kobe.
83 points. 83. He let a man score 83 points. I don't even want to hear it. You know how many free throws he had? How many times did you just hand him the ball and say, here, please, take 2 more? That's not basketball. That's a charity event. I watched that game. I watched grown men just move out of the way. Like he was a car and they were traffic cones. Traffic cones with jerseys. And the refs. Don't get me started on the refs. Every time he breathed on someone, it was a foul. He shot 40 free throws. 40. You know what I did with 40 free throws? I won championships. 83 points is not a record. It's an embarrassment for everyone involved. The defense, the coaching staff, the refs, the building, the city. I had to come down there personally because apparently nobody else is going to do anything about it. You're welcome.
Follow for more. And who do you think will drop 80 next?
I love AI. It's so fun.
What
But
can I
also,
rate?
it could be a dangerous tool. I mean, not only for, the music industry and what it can do as far as that, it's dangerous for what it can do to people too. It can cause AI psychosis, which is, I think, an important problem that we're going to be seeing a lot of in the future.
You asked me a few weeks ago maybe what I would see, and I mentioned Barkley in today's era, or the 7 seconds or less versus the Warriors. What about the Dream Team versus the Redeem Team? That'd be pretty fucking good too.
Yeah, I wish they would just release that actual footage from that practice. And
I'm talking Redeem Team later with LeBron. But yeah, that practice you're talking about against the college studs, how they allegedly they beat them the first game, right?
Yeah.
And then went off this next game. There's only 2 minutes of footage on that. That would have been great to watch, dude, just to see those players go fucking at it, bro.
no doubt.
Man. Let's see. I think I got two other things that I can do. This is crazy. I found this. I would like to share, Snoop. This is kind of nuts. See if I
Go
can
for
find
it.
it. Soviet State TV broadcasts its first ever NBA game. A 104-103 Suns playoff opening win over the Nuggets from a month earlier on 4/28. This is back in 1989, folks. The final hour of the game was shown during a 1-hour break of proceedings at the Kremlin, led by President Gorbachev. That's pretty freaking crazy. I didn't know they
Man,
showed NBA over there.
man, I can't believe they squeezed the whole game in an hour. They must have not called any fouls.
Right? And then on this day, May 26, 1993, before Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals versus the Seattle Supersonics, Charles Barkley was awarded the NBA MVP award, the first in Suns history. Barkley averaged 25.6 points a game, 12.2 rebounds a game, 5.1 assists a game, but he led Phoenix to a franchise best 62-20 regular season record, best in the NBA. So this date in history.
That's a good moment there with Barkley getting the MVP. And man, I really hope they bring back the Supersonics, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to happen, and that'll be exciting for Seattle if they can still support a team. I don't know. Might have gone a little bit too far left up there. I don't know.
I think they will. I think they will. I mean, look how they're supporting hockey. The Kraken. It's always packed. It's loud. I wonder how it's going to be aligned. Is Memphis going to go to the the Eastern Conference? Is the Pelicans going to the Eastern Conference? Like, how's that going to work? So we'll see how that comes out. But yeah, I'm totally agree with you, Snoop. Seattle deserves a team. That's a great place.
Yeah, it was fun watching them play when they had the Rain Man and Peyton and Detlef Schrempf and.
Fucking hey. Right, that's what we talked about. Dana Barros. What was it? Michael Cage was on that team. Wasn't an older Hersey Hawkins on that team too? Dale Ellis early in his days. That team was freaking stacked. And winning remember the 30 for 30 with Michael? Talking about Chuck getting the MVP helped fuel them in the finals. Like, all right, and that when they were like best friends at the time, and now they still haven't spoke for years. I've heard from.
Supposedly they're getting ready to do something together again.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. They've made up. Just last week I was just hearing about this, I believe.
Wow. Dude. I know they were really freaking close. But like our guest said, maybe he was just tooling with them.
I don't know, man. I might not be friends with Charles Barkley anymore after playing golf with him. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Let me see if I can find anything about it.
There was you asked me. You brought up a couple weeks ago the most overrated players.
Okay.
Who comes to mind in Snoop Von Poop's brain when you think of the most overrated players?
Overrated NBA player?
Yeah, and lifetime, any era.
I think Kobe Bryant is definitely probably on the list.
You think LeBron?
The height for LeBron's different because he's a different type of player, a different type of animal. The problem with Kobe is he gets compared to Jordan. There's a lot of competition at that position. I think LeBron is a different type of player. He might be a little bit overrated.
Okay.
They're definitely all overpaid.
Okay. We talked about Harden. What about KD? Overrated?
Yeah. Well, maybe he's definitely a great scorer, but he doesn't bring leadership to the locker room, which, is a real downgrade in my book.
Any other players come to mind?
Not off the top of my head right now. James Harden, definitely, I guess. Maybe Mitchell hasn't really proven too much.
Yeah, like we saw a stat the other day, like Booker has more finals appearance than Anthony Edwards and Mitchell, and like he's getting a lot of hate. But what about the other
Bradley Beal is a
Yeah, Bradley. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Snook. What about the other realm? Instead of overrated, how about underrated? What players come to mind?
I think Dwayne Wade takes a lot of disrespect when you look at everything he's done, and then think about his injuries and how limited he was because of those.
Sure. One thing that comes to mind with him is he always landed on the floor, but he wasn't flopping. He just freaking always got to the rim and got hurt. Got hit. He's underrated. Yes.
Jimmy Butler. I didn't realize how much heart the kid had until he was in Miami.
Okay. Okay.
But who you got?
Mahmoud, Bernard King, Sherlicious, Marshallonis, Dale Ellis, like the old school guys that I always bring up, the Dana Barrows. I always love those guys. They were just freaking so badass. Cedric Ceballos, he's up there. I mean, it's not current, but there was a stat 10, 15 years ago. I got to look into it. But out of all the players in Lakers history that have not won a championship, he was number 1 in points per game. So for a few years, he's averaged around 20 for them. But he comes to mind for sure. I think Nash gets a lot of hate because of those MVPs thinking that he stole them away from Kobe or Shaq. I think, dude, those 2 years was those few years were awesome.
But let's be honest, the championships were probably stolen from Nash that season.
Too. I'll gladly make a swap, brother. Gladly make a swap.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Something we'll dive into.
I found this article here of Charles Barkley explains how he's ending decade-long beef with Michael Jordan. Says they plan on reuniting for a round of golf.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And they weren't friends because Barkley criticized him on TNT for being, having the wrong posse around him in Charlotte when he was owner. Having his inner circle just controlling too many things and being a yes man, being a bad owner and just calling him out. And Barkley was just doing his job. That's good to see.
Well, as a friend and commentator, both.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Chuck and Michael doing content somehow on TV or even if it's a podcast. That would be fucking awesome. Can you imagine the stories they have about their late nights hanging out together, the poker games, the casino games, all the times playing poker or blackjack with all the money they dive into. But that would be interesting.
Yeah, like a grumpy old men type show or something.
Totally. I love that would be really cool. Well, I got some other ones, but they're videos, so I'm not going to show them. But yeah, that's all I got for Suns history, brother.
Right on. Well, another beautiful week in the books, folks. Thank you for joining us, and we sure appreciate everybody for tuning in. We sure appreciate John Voita. Everybody check out the Phoenix Suns jam session on YouTube. It is youtube.com/@sunsjam. And also be sure to check out John's blog at brightsideofthesun.com. And there's tons of content on there as well, not just from John, but they do have multiple writers and a lot of content. So go give it a check out. And also check out our merch, the Pick Is In podcast. And that's on the phone booth, podcast.substack.com. And click on merch, and there is tons of merch available. You got anything else you want to add tonight, Haywood?
Without getting too emotional, thank you for all the support for all the people on Twitter and Facebook and during my rough week. It's been tough. So cheers to everybody. A lot of love for everybody because we show them love. So cheers. Thank you. Enjoyed everybody being here, tuning in. Check us out next week on The Pick Is In. Enjoy time with your loved ones. It's very precious. Much love to everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.